Oklahoma's own News 9 presents The Run to Remember.
Here we go, the Memorial Marathon.
2, 1.
It's a reminder again to us that we really never forget.
This is a time to celebrate and remember.
A great race for community.
There's absolutely no way I'm going to miss it.
It's bananas out here, I tell you.
And that is part of what the Oklahoma Standard is about.
And welcome to the 24th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon Run to Remember. I'm Amanda Taylor.
And I'm Carl Torp. We're here at the finish line at Walker and Oklahoma City Boulevard, where 22,402 runners are going to eventually be downtown here in Oklahoma City from all 50 states and 14 different countries this year.
The big race starts at 6:30 this morning, so just in a little bit. This is a big deal for many reasons. One, it is a qualifier for the Boston Marathon, so a really big deal for those elite runners, but it means so much to the community as well. It is the biggest fundraiser for the Oklahoma City Memorial and Museum that is there to remember the victims, the survivors, and those changed forever on April 19th, 1995.
At the same time, the Memorial Marathon is a time to celebrate life and celebrate how far we have come as a city and a community. And we have team coverage today. We have folks all over the course. We also have Jim Gardner and Bob News, Sky News 9, high above to give you a bird's eye view. We're going to have this race covered from start to finish. But we do have other things to get to in our state this morning after last night's severe and deadly weather.
We'll also be checking in with Robin Marsh and Lacey Lowry at the start line today. But first, our state is dealing with a horrific tornado outbreak and unfortunately and now a deadly tornado outbreak.
Yeah, we're going to send it back to our newsroom. We have Jennifer Pierce standing by now with the latest on the information coming out of Holdenville and also Sulphur.
All right. Thank you, guys. Amanda and Carl looking great out there. Yes, some somber news. We're now learning that one person in Holdenville has died following those storms. Oklahoma Emergency Management is reporting several injuries in Carter and Murray counties. Now, here's a look at damage in Sulphur. This is from our storm tracker, Jeremy Carter. If you can see there, significant damage. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing. News 9's Addie Crawford is there live. She's working to gather some more information. Addie, what do you know right now?
Well, Jennifer, people here in Sulphur are waking up in the dark this morning after a tornado ripped through the town last night. You might hear a fire alarm going off in the distance. The power is out. Street lights are out as well. But what's here behind me, it's pretty shocking to see. I want to show you what we came across. Several downed trees are totally covering this bridge. We were trying to get to downtown, actually, where streets are closed. We saw a steady stream of water covering downtown streets. The sheriff's office in Murray County, they tell News 9, downtown Sulphur took a direct hit. Several homes, structures damaged, including the town's post office. That sheriff's office also says there are no confirmed fatalities at this time, but several injuries. Now, as the sun rises this morning, we're going to be able to get a better look at this damage and get to talk to some residents. We look forward to bringing you that coverage throughout this morning. In Sulphur, I'm Addie Crawford for Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Addie, thank you, and stay safe out there. The Red Cross is opening a shelter in Sulphur. Those in need can go to the Crossway Church at 2108 Broadway Avenue. The Murray County Sheriff's Office has also designated this site as a reunification center. Now, there's also significant damage in Hughes County, where officials say 14 homes were damaged or completely destroyed in Holdenville. Those storms have moved through, but some showers are still sticking around. Let's check in with meteorologist Jed Castles. He's in the Bob Mills Weather Center keeping a track of all of that. Jed, what a crazy night.
Oh, wow, what a wild night. Definitely last 24 hours. These storms started early yesterday morning where we had tornadoes forming as far west as Leedy. That's where it got started. Marty Logan was on that. Then the tornadoes started moving across the state. The big, bad, ugly tornadoes from last night got going after dark, and those started down near the Red River, moved across Lake Murray. Couple of tornadoes there. Near Sulphur, we had all that damage. Also near Hughes County, near Holdenville right there. So multiple tornadoes, 27 reports, a lot more video to show you here as we go through the day today. But let's get you out the door this morning and talk about what's going on now with radar. We have had one little band of showers kind of roll through here. There's that little rain shower activity that's kind of working its way to the east now as showers now are moving away. So for the run, it's going to be dry. Roadways, though, are a little bit damp as most of the rain and storms now start to slide off to the east. Everybody getting ready for the run here this morning. Wheelchairs are going to be going first here after 6 o'clock. 60 right now. South winds at 8 miles per hour. Temperatures should rebound back up in the 70s here later today. So it's going to be a warm, windy forecast with rain and storms now moving away from Oklahoma. Chance of severe weather continues over in eastern Oklahoma. So a little damp, but the rain is over with. Dry conditions, but skies clearing. We're close on 70s by afternoon.
All right, Jed, thank you. Damage assessments are ongoing, and of course, we will get a much better look at all the damage later today when the sun comes up. We are reaching out to emergency management across the state for the latest reports. Amanda, back to you.
Our hearts definitely going out to everyone affected today. Jennifer Pierce, thank you. And throughout our coverage this morning, we're going to be checking back pretty regularly with our news folks and also weather to bring you an update because right now out here in just about 20 minutes, the wheelchair races are going to start. And then shortly after that, the rest of the races will begin.
And the excitement right now building at the starting line, Northwest 5th and Harvey. We have Lacey Lowry and our Robin Marsh overseeing the coverage there. And the excitement, I'm sure, it's huge as people jam-pack in there and can't wait to get started.
Hey, guys.
Oh, it's so exciting out here. I will tell you, though, every runner that we've talked to, they've been so concerned about Oklahomans who were in the path of those storms yesterday, but they are thrilled that everything is a go this morning for the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
Isn't that just the Oklahoma standard?
It really
we got
is.
runners ready to go, but they're saying, hey, how are the storm victims? How's it going? It's just the Oklahoma standard on full display. So kind of two storylines today, the marathon and storm coverage, and we're going to balance both of those. But here at the starting line, they've got the music pumping. Runners are starting to arrive, some wearing trash bags because of the rain, but they say, you know what? You can't stop me. Even the rain can't stop us today. So they have such a great attitude. That's
here,
right
Lacey.
over our shoulder, that live picture. The announcements are going, and you can start to see that crowd filling in at the start line and beyond. More than 20,000 people packing into these streets.
Oh, my goodness. And there is our broadcast booth on the left side of your screen, and we love being here at the start line. We're right on Harvey at 9:03. The gate there, and that represents the future and that we are changed forever, and that is why we run to remember. Also joining us right now, Carrie Watkins, the president and CEO of the National Memorial Museum. Carrie, I know you've been very concerned about the weather and just the path of those storms and Oklahomans affected. The race is going on time, though, this morning, correct?
Race is all set, but, literally until 4:30 this morning, we were looking to see where the damage was. We weren't going to run if there was devastation. I mean, there's enough devastation as it is, but the course maintained its presence, and we're just making sure that all Oklahomans will be okay. We will dedicate a moment to them at the top of the race, and really just the work your crew has done 24 hours and still be out here is a little crazy, but we're grateful. But I talked to your guy, Nathan, this morning saying we don't have to do this. I mean, I just, the priority is on the people of Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
The race is secondary, but we'll run to remember and to celebrate life. And I think it's another moment in time that reminds us that life's precious.
Yes.
We get a day at a time, and this is made possible by thousands of volunteers, people who showed up this morning in the pouring rain and just doing their work. The police have been, taxed all night as well. That was one of the first calls we had this morning with Nathan and the police, just to make sure that all systems go. Because this is great, but it doesn't have to happen. But we're really grateful that we're on. Thousands of runners are here, 22,500, I think, from all 50 states, 14 countries. Been training for months.
Yes.
So you don't take cancellation lightly either. And so you put all that in and try to make it work.
Carrie, talk about the spirit of the runners, because so many of them, it's not dampering their spirit to get out and still do this run.
Well, I think, first of all, half of them are from out of the state.
Yeah.
So, where we're used to wall-to-wall weather coverage, they've never seen anything like it. And so that's one thing we've tried to talk about. We had the other Lacey and David on Friday on the podcast just saying, be aware, but, and then We have our own meteorologist that tracks the course, and so those two guys working together have been great. But the runners, I think, they're worried about everybody else, making sure everybody else is okay. Some of them have come from those areas of Ada, Ardmore, Sulphur. I mean, those areas are all, we have runners from those areas. So we're watching that. And then, Holdenville, all that area, Oklahomans have poured out, and we'll take care of those people as well.
It's a big day, and the finish line is going to be emotional when the runners see those victims as they come down the final stretch, and that's really why we run to remember.
It really is. I mean, now we're teaching this story to a new generation who doesn't know it, but also among those runners will be family members who are there watching and running and cheering and putting medals on, and it is about remembering what happened here and making sure that as we go through life, we realize life is kind of like a marathon. There's ups and downs, there's hard days, good days, and you just have to plow through each day.
Carrie, anything else you want to say before I know you're getting ready to help start part of the ceremony?
Yeah, I mean, I say let's marathon. Let's go do the very best. These people have put in thousands of hours. The training's done. Now they get to show off.
Well, marathon. I love that.
Thank you, guys.
Carrie, thank you so much. We'll be checking in with you throughout the morning. It is a must-run race, as they say, and we want to take you through the course map this morning and really the schedule of events coming up.
So first, right before 6:30 will be the wheelchair marathon, the half marathon, the relay, and then the full marathon. We wanted to show you just the map so you can kind of see what the athletes will be running the course. The course does start here in downtown at 5th and Harvey. It stretches through Bricktown, then northeast Oklahoma City. It cuts over by the Capitol Complex. And then at 50th Street, that's the cutoff for the half marathon to come back down Classen. If you're running the marathon, you basically go through Nichols Hills, the Village, Lake Hefner, and then make that long trek back down Classen through the Asian District down through northwest Oklahoma City, and it ends in downtown.
25 neighborhoods through the course of the race, and everyone loves that. Now to the schedule. The wheelchair marathon gets underway at 6:25 this morning, 6:25, and then the marathon, half marathon, and relay runners start at 6:30 sharp. Then things wrap up with the big finish line festival at Scissortail Park. That party is from 8 to noon.
We're ready to be for that party, too.
I want to go.
It's going to be a lot of fun. The marathon also has a new app that we want to share with you. If you have last year's app, make sure you update it. It's the 2024 version, and you can access the course maps. There's a list of parking areas if you're coming down to celebrate something. My son is running the half marathon again, Lacey. I'm so excited. So I already have his bib number. I'll be tracking him through the course. You can track your favorite runner as well. Download that new app. Search OKC Memorial Marathon in the App Store. One poignant moment of the festivities before the race begins will be the 168 seconds of silence, and that will happen in about a minute. But, it's while there's so much excitement here, and while everyone here knows why we run to remember, there is something very poignant about what happens when we observe that 168 seconds of silence.
I've spoken to so many runners who say that really sets the pace of why we're here and the fact that you are able-bodied and able to run this course. And there are people that because of that day in 1995 who can't be with us today. And that is why we run. We run because others can't. And so that 168 seconds of silence is coming up in just a moment. The banners with all of the names of the victims and their pictures, and so many runners say that is what gave me the strength to get across the finish line.
And it will be amazing because you see all the hustle and bustle, but in just a matter of a few seconds, right now, we remember the 168 lives that were taken 29 years ago.
Let's listen in to the 168 seconds of silence.
you. This morning we are thrilled to welcome Katie Kramer.
And now it's time for the national anthem, Robin.
It will be performed by Katie Kramer. She's also running the marathon.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight flags gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, nobles bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With the national anthem, and there you see the long line of runners who are getting ready to start. The wheelchair race starts at 6:25, just in a matter of a few minutes. And Lacey, after the national
Was that not amazing? She's running the marathon. She's got a set of pipes and a set of lungs on her. So Katie Kramer running the marathon as well. And I tell you what, if you can get 20,000 people to be still and silent downtown, that was amazing. For
It
the
is.
moments of silence right into the national anthem. And again, just setting the pace.
It's so exciting down here now as we get ready to run to remember, and we are just a matter of a few minutes away. We've seen the runners' family will be lined up all along the course today, and we will be there all along the way.
So we've got the wheelchair and hand-cranked participants lined up. They are going to start momentarily. Right now, though, we do want to send it back to Amanda Taylor and Carl Torp at the finish line.
Guys, it's getting exciting here.
Absolutely, it sure is getting excited. And you're right, that 168 seconds of silence, they do that for every single race, the kids marathon, the 5K, the senior marathon. And it is a powerful moment no matter where you are. It's just every single year it gets you. It really does just touch you in the heart. By the way, Katie Kramer, they said she's got some pipes and some legs. I tell you what, though, she's fast.
She can
She's
be one of the
really
elite
fast,
runners
too.
today.
Yeah,
for sure.
Also, yeah.
Yes, so the race is going to start here, the marathon, the half, and the relay at 6:30. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll bring in our race analyst for more. And welcome back to the 24th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon Run to Remember. I'm Amanda Taylor.
And I'm Carl Torp. We've got team coverage, and we'll be with you for about 4 hours this morning as we bring you the 2024 Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. We want to bring in our race analyst who's really going to help us here in the booth to kind of set the stage. But really, Mark Bravo, our race analyst, knows these runners and knows this race.
He knows the race well. In fact, he has run more than 50 marathons in his life. He trained some of the best. Mark, what do you expect from today?
I'll tell you what, Amanda, great to see you both. A lot of previous winners are back. It's going to be hot talent. I think hotly competed all the way around in most all the races, maybe every race. Familiar names to Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon and half marathon fans. It's going to be really exciting out here, and we'll talk about the conditions that may arise, but these guys are ready. They've thought about nothing else for 6 months plus.
We're going to be talking to you more momentarily.
Let's send it back to the starting line with Robin Marsh and Lacey Lowry.
Carl and Amanda, less than 1 minute to go to the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. The wheelchair race is about starting in a matter of seconds. And then we have more than 20,000 runners getting ready for that half, the relay, and the full marathon. And you can feel the excitement, Lacey.
I love it. You can hear the announcements going on behind us. They are starting the music to
30
get pumped.
seconds.
30 seconds out. This, again, is the wheelchair and the hand crank devices. And then they have some bikers riding with them because, you know, those hand crank devices, they have to have some time to turn. So
maneuver,
you're going to
yes.
have a lot of people coming through, not nearly as much as the runners from the marathon, but this is the kickstart of 625, the
Here we go.
Memorial Marathon
Here's the
wheelchair
countdown.
and hand crank. Here
5,
we
4,
go.
3,
2,
1. Let's go, marathon!
And they are off. And once again, playing It's a Beautiful Day. The rain stopped just in time for this amazing start to the Oklahoma City Memorial
so exciting.
Marathon. We've got runners, strollers, wheelchairs, hand cranks laying down almost parallel. And there they go. There's a lot of families involved that have done this year after year.
Oh, yes, and I tell you what, and now you'll see, here come all the runners up to the start line, and just in a matter of a few minutes, they will be off on the 24th annual Oklahoma City Run to Remember, and we will be there along the way with our pace cars out in front following the leaders, and we will have our cameras through all the neighborhoods where everyone will be having so much fun.
25 neighborhoods across 3 different cities. We love Gorilla Hill. We love checking into the Asian district. We love, is it Edgemere Park that does the big Mickey Mouse hands? There's so many just fun, just giving high fives as they come by. If you are watching, every bib is colored differently. So you're looking for the full marathon in green, the half is yellow, the relay is red. And we're also talking about the Governor's Challenge in the team relay. Last year, almost 500 teams took the challenge. About 160 beat the Governor. And so now we are going to see the relay portion of as well coming through.
And I
Who are
just
you
saw
waving at?
Camille Harris,
Okay.
who is from Oklahoma. There she was in the orange.
Okay.
She is a famous runner from Oklahoma. She runs around the world, and I just saw her. She's at the start here of the lineup for the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. There are people really literally from all over the world who have come to Oklahoma City, and we welcome you here. And I tell you what, if you are cheering them on, let them know how loud and proud Oklahomans are of them for participating in this year's Run to Remember. And it's so exciting, Lacey. I just love it. I've run the half one time.
Yes.
And there is nothing like the start of a race and knowing all the hard work you've been doing for months. And today is the payoff day, and it really is so emotional.
It really is. So many emotions out here. If you are along the course, please post to social media. Use the hashtag Run to Remember. They want to share those. The pace that you have to keep up with the marathon, it's a 15-minute pace. You have to keep that pace. The half marathon, you have to keep a 20-minute pace, or they will shuffle you off the course. So there's a lot of pressure on you as a runner.
And look at them here, and what you're seeing right here at the front, the elite runners, and they will be booking it as they make their way for 26 miles and a little extra. And here we go. They're getting ready for this Memorial Marathon, and look at them go here. You can just see the excitement. We love being here at the start, too, because we get to almost high-five everyone that comes by. It's so thrilling for us.
It's electrifying, and if you could see all the people lining the course, getting ready to simply cheer on other people. I've spoken with runners. They say, this is the nicest city and one of the best marathons to run because the crowd just supports you and carries you all the way through the course.
Our cameras will be all along the way, and that's what I love about this, because you'll see it as a fan of runners and just a fan of the race itself and a fan of Oklahoma City and the Memorial Marathon. So, boy, they're cranking up the music.
I'm getting pumped up.
We're excited for sure. And there is nothing like the start of a marathon or a half marathon or a relay. I think the governor kind of stacked the deck this year for the relay team, Lacey, because he has some runners that were from
all
OSU.
Female. All females.
Female from OU, OSU. I think there's a law enforcement officer.
Got some track stars on his team. He's a smart man when he was stacking that team. I love it. I'm watching over here, and the runners are jumping. They're getting pumped up. They're starting to dance to the music, and you can tell they are ready to start, and we're less than 1 minute away.
Yeah, about 40 seconds. I tell you what, the sun is getting ready to come up on this Sunday morning, April 28th, and after a night of storms, and we're praying for so many people who were impacted, put these runners on your prayer list this morning because this is a physical challenge. We're under 30 seconds. Can you hear them? They are ready to go. Look at the crowds lining the streets, ready to cheer them on. There is nothing like race day in Oklahoma City, and it's a thrilling time to be here in our city.
More than 22,000 people about to break through the start line, and it's electrifying. Get ready. This is the start. Here we go. I love it.
And they're off.
And they are off. An incredible pace already.
Wonderful.
The 24th anniversary of the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. Run to remember on this Sunday morning. Everyone is smiling as they pass by.
Oh, they are. They're checking their watches to start their time. They've got their bids on. They're running. They're so excited, and it's amazing to see everyone. They've been training for months, and Lacey, races do not discriminate. We have young and young at heart out here.
I think it was 2 months young. 2 months old is the youngest participant overall, all the way up to 97. That's not the marathon, but just all of the races combined. And you're seeing young and old run right now.
Oh, it just puts a smile on your face because this is what life is about, experiencing this marathon and celebrating life, celebrating being alive and being active, and doing it for a cause so worthwhile. And this is just thrilling.
I love it. They'll tell you when your body starts to hurt, when you think you can't do it anymore, you realize I can do this. The crowd pushes you. The names, the faces of the victims on the banners along Classen pushes you. The Oklahoma Standard, folks cheering you on. They don't even know who you are. They push you along. And it truly is an incredible race. It is why we run to remember.
Oh, I'm being a little selfish here. My boy's going to be coming through any moment now as he's running the half. So I'm looking for Cade, and we'll see how he does. Last year was his first half, and he told me that he's going to do the full next year. So I know he's going to be coming by at any moment and can't wait to see him.
It takes several minutes for this whole crowd to get across the start line, and they're kind of spread out in different running groups. So obviously the elite runners in front and the just want to have funners in the back, and it just takes a while to get 22,500 people across that start line.
Oh, I tell you, when you just see how you can tell everyone's been training for so long, and they're waving at their family and friends, people cheering for them. And I tell you, when you're running and you see a familiar face or you hear someone shout your name, it does. It electrifies you. It energizes you to keep going. This is no small feat to run a marathon. Hey, babe, how are you? A half marathon. I tell you, it's just so neat to see.
It's almost emotional.
It really
as people pass by.
And I think, too, just of the reason why we run to remember. Yeah. You know, on April 19th, we remembered what happened here 29 years ago. And today is about where we've come from and how we have really just celebrated where our city is today. I mean, you know, the Thunder won the playoff game last night in New Orleans. And, I mean, it's just an electrifying time to be part, to see how far our city has come over all these years, and to know we've kind of been there this whole time. It really is. This is why we stay here, because we love it here.
You're looking along Harvey right now as far as the eye can see, and they are still moving up to come through the start line. Oh my gosh, we have barkers. You know, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they bark now because they're the dogs on the court. We've got runners barking as they pass by. I just love the excitement, the fun. It is a party today.
Oh my goodness.
It's celebrating.
It is a party for sure. And I mean, there are people as far as the eye can see in front of us and as far as the eye can see behind us. And I mean, just to imagine what they're getting ready to endure, and they're doing it with love in their heart and the endurance to do it, and it's thrilling. It makes you so proud for what they're accomplishing, and even that we are part of the broadcast of it all.
Just celebrating life.
Hey, Alex Cameron!
Alex Cameron with News 9
There
running
goes
by.
Alex.
Alex, run for me, okay? Run for me. Thanks, buddy. It's so fun, though, as we switch through several of these shots across Oklahoma City. It's just amazing to see our city rally behind this.
Oh.
Folks that you know, folks that you don't know, you're just cheering them along.
I love it.
The cheerleaders along the course, the cheer zones.
It's so
It's
fun.
really incredible.
And the other thing is, every one of these athletes, I tell you, they are running for someone. It might be someone personal. It might be someone who lost their lives 29 years ago. My son, Cade, on his shoes, he has written Dana Cooper, and he's written Anthony Cooper Jr. Dana lost her little boy and her life in the bombing, and Cade has really kind of fallen in love with these two people, so he is running for the Coopers today.
Okay, we want to go to Chris Williams. He's standing by.
All
Chris,
right.
who did you find, and what are you doing down there? Are you by the drum line? Go ahead. Chris, can you hear me? Go ahead.
Cade! Hi, babe! Good job! Oh, we lost
Okay,
Chris.
are we back
Okay.
to us? Hey, there's so much excitement. Our microphone didn't work for a second. Sorry. Cade.
Oh, my God.
Kate, okay, we're going back to the drum line. What do you want to do here?
I hear the drum line by the Paycom Center, and these runners, as they start here at the start line, they'll actually make their way down 5th and Harvey here.
Yep. Harvey,
And
they're
they'll
going
come-
south on Harvey.
And they'll really run right by the TV station and go
Yeah.
right to the Paycom Center.
There's a big drum line and a party
Yes.
at the Paycom Center, and it's so loud. Apparently, Chris can't hear us because he's partying with the drummers. So we'll just stay here at the start line because, again, still
Look,
moving
Lacey, and
this
how many
mass of people across the start line.
Oh, look at all the people still making their way. You know, they break it up if you're running. All right, I think we do have Chris Williams right
Okay,
now
he's
at the
done.
Paycom
Yeah,
Center.
he's done partying. Now he's
Okay,
going to grab
Chris.
the microphone. Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, a lot of excitement here outside the Paycom Center. You said you could hear the drummers. They are going. Rumble is just going crazy here. We have the Thunder Dancers. We're getting fist pumps from all the runners because we're still early enough. They're still smiling, having a good time. It's a little bit cruel. The finish line is really only about a half mile from where we are, but of course they have 25 miles they have to run before they get there. This is the longest line of people I've ever seen in my life coming in here. All of them giving a little fist pump. I saw someone running in a Chet Holmgren jersey a little bit ago. So the spirit of this playoff Thunder run is in these runners. And there's someone with a chicken on their head apparently. So this is great. A lot of energy on this corner. I have a feeling this drum line is going to be going for about the next 4 hours straight. So we'll continue to check back in with you guys.
Okay, back here at the start line, Robin is going to get up and start giving some high fives.
have
It's
to.
so fun. It's such a great moment. As people are running by, they want to give you a high five. They're starting things off. And you kind of start off really fast because it's so exciting. You said you got to be careful with the pace sometimes.
Oh my gosh, because everyone is saying hi to us as they're coming by. You have to be so careful starting out because you run way too fast at the beginning. And Mark Bravo, I know he'll say yes to that because when you start out, everyone is just like, let's go. And you end up at the Capitol and you're like, oh my gosh, I am going way too fast. I better start checking my time and my pace. That happened to me, and boy, you can pay for it through the course. But I tell you what, these folks have trained for so long, and it is just a sea of people still and smiles on their face. They are ready to go. Their friends are running with them.
Go.
I was at the expo yesterday and met a group of sisters, Lacey. It was 7 sisters running.
Oh, my goodness.
From Texas, and they're here in Oklahoma. And one sister is 20 weeks pregnant.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
she is running. They're all running the half. And I was just like, I was so impressed. And they were like, oh, yeah, we run all over. And so it was just amazing to hear people's stories
I
about
can do
why
it, so I
they
will
run.
do it. That's
Yes.
right.
And it's just amazing to see the different ages of people because, you know, we had the senior race yesterday, but there's a lot of seniors out here running a marathon or a half marathon or a relay.
There's a lot of seniors out here that are in way better shape than this non-senior right here. So I love seeing all of the able-bodied people coming through. I love all the colorful shirts. And everyone's wooing as they run by. We have some News Niners running the race. Alex Cameron's out there. Bobby Miller's out there.
Bobby's running with her boys, and so I'll be seeing them at the finish line as well. One of our bosses ran with his son yesterday.
Oh, good.
In the 5K, and I think he had trouble keeping up with his younger son. And so it's like some of these young kids can put the parents to shame. Isn't that the truth?
I love running by the Paycom Center. What a beautiful shot of downtown Oklahoma City celebrating life on this early Sunday morning for the Run to Remember.
Oh, my goodness. So it is 6:39. We're about 10 minutes into
Still don't have
the race.
everyone across the start line. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. I mean, when you start realizing for 10 minutes, this has been a sea of runners starting, getting ready, so excited. They've been training forever. They're coming by, waving, so excited. And, you know, this is a big accomplishment for some people. It's a bucket list
Absolutely.
item.
Yes.
And, you know, some people run around the world, and they all say, I've talked to so many runners who say, there is nothing like running in Oklahoma City. You know, there is no prize money. You can qualify for other races, but this is a pride moment.
Pride money. Pride prize, yes.
Yeah, a pride prize. And, you know, it's about really, truly running for others.
Yes.
And yourself.
It's so nice. You know, before the pandemic, they were up at 24,000, 25,000. And then the pandemic hit and the numbers went down, as did everything. And they are building back up to those pre-pandemic levels, 22,500 runners today. And it's because you come here, it's electrifying, the crowd supports you, neighborhoods get involved, cities get involved because there's 3 actual cities along the entire course. And people just say there's nothing like it. And the reason that this marathon exists really fuels you forward to run this race.
You'll start off in Oklahoma City. You'll go through Nichols Hills, and then through the village, and then back
to
down
Oklahoma City.
in Oklahoma City, down that long Classen Boulevard. And boy, that Classen Boulevard, you don't realize how long it is until you start running on Classen, all the way down to the finish line, the race. Everyone will cross the same finish line. You'll get that medal around your neck. And, you know, this is something where so many people are competitive about. They've got to keep the pace. But for so many of us that do run, it isn't really about just the time. It's just that you've made the accomplishment.
Doing it, absolutely.
Yes.
It is pretty cool. The Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon app, the new app this year, the 2024 version. If you have someone running in it or you just want to track them, it is so specific on all the different times that you can track people, and you can run ahead and go cheer them on at certain location because you know what time they're going to pass that. It's so neat. And we also, of course, at the bottom of our screen have the runners and the top men and women in the marathon and half marathon. So there's so many different ways to track. It will be up shortly as we're still trying to get people across the start line right here. We've got Oklahoma City firefighters carrying the flag, the American
and the gear
flag.
that they wear, Lacey.
And you know that gear is about 60 pounds that they're wearing.
Yes.
Extra weight that they're wearing and in full firefighter gear.
I mean, hats off to them thank you for your service. And still just as far as the eye can see, so many people running and getting a great start off. The sun is starting to try to peek through the clouds. Daybreak is coming here. It's about 6:42 on our Sunday morning. What a glorious morning for running. Had a little rain for good luck this morning.
I'm loving some of the crowd posters that they're holding up because it kind of makes you laugh a little bit, and you just remember, hey, we're here to have fun. It says, run faster. Your ex is behind you. People are looking at that, and I swear they start picking up their pace when they see that sign.
And this is right in front of the Paycom Center. We've got the drum line. Rumble's out there. Boy, Rumble's had his work cut out for him lately with the Thunder. Oklahoma City now up 3-0 over the Pelicans. And one more game, and we're off to the next round of the playoffs. We have runners here from all 50 states and at least 14 foreign countries.
Isn't that amazing?
Mexico, the UK, Australia. Welcome if you're from Canada or France or Brazil to Oklahoma City. We know there are people here from Germany, running from China, Guatemala, Japan, Peru, Spain, Ukraine. The course goes through 25 neighborhoods. And new this year, of course, everyone ends at the same finish line, which is at Oklahoma City Boulevard and Hudson.
I love that they all come across that same finish line this year.
And then there's a big party in the park, Scissortail Park, right?
Yes, and they've got 12,000 burgers they're passing out because everyone that runs the marathon gets a free burger.
I'm liking that.
I know. I'm like, I reported on the marathon. Can I also get a free burger? So Spark Cafe is doing that. If you want a beer for 21 and up, they'll give you a beer if that's the best thing that you need right after running
tell
a
my
marathon.
son that, right? You know,
a lot of
oh my
people
gosh,
take them up on that, but they're just celebrating that you did this thing, you accomplished it, and that is something that is just to celebrate.
They're talking about the time results, and they've already had some good times from the 5K yesterday. The men's half marathon for 13.1 mile. The time frame will be about 1 hour and 9 minutes. That was the result from the winner last year. The women's half, we should look at the first women coming across at about an hour and 25 minutes. That was from the winner last year.
Yeah, so you're kind of looking at, I think for the men's race, somewhere between 2 hours and 22 minutes and 2 hours and 25 minutes. That's really what we're looking at as far as that first male runner to come across for the full marathon.
And can you imagine?
Gorilla Hill!
Oh, there we are, Gorilla Hill. I think Colby Thielen is there. I'm not sure if he's donning either the banana suit or the gorilla suit today.
Back by popular demand, he absolutely has the gorilla suit. And you got banana heads in the background. That is a course favorite. Folks love running through Gorilla Hill. They say that's the craziest, most awesome thing I've ever been a part of, running right through there.
I would say that's about 6 miles or 7 miles into the race or so, somewhere around there, because you'll make your way over to the Capitol and then cut off over near 23rd Street and then kind of go up through Gorilla Hill. So we should see some runners starting to make their way in this location. And the residents here, they start planning this party months in advance.
You got bounce houses out there. You've got Gorilla Hill with the banana heads and the gorilla outfits. I love that each neighborhood almost has a theme, and everyone really gets behind it.
It is so exciting. You know, when we were talking about the time, and for the men's marathon last year, it was 2 hours and 25 minutes. And Lacey, I mean, you're talking 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, to run
that's like a
2
5-minute
hours.
pace or something. I don't even know.
It's hard to comprehend.
I love these shots of just masses of people running through the streets of downtown Oklahoma City.
Look at this. And still, at the starting line, friends, it's just a sea of people.
Okay, there's a live look outside the News 9 studios. That's some of our coworkers on the bottom right side cheering as they go past Griffin Media and the building right north of Paycom Center. So our coworkers are out there cheering folks on as well.
I mean, I love News 9 being downtown. We moved downtown in Oklahoma City last year, and it is thrilling. It just, you feel like you're in the center of everything.
All the energy.
With all going on in the downtown area right now in springtime with the Festival of the Arts. You know, we've had the Olympic trials here. And, our colleague Jaden, one of our cam ops and directors, he's running the marathon.
He actually switched to the half marathon.
Oh, he did?
Told
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was going to try to sprint the half marathon because he switched from the full marathon. I said, Jaden, you're an overachiever. I'll see you at work on Monday.
Oh, my gosh. He's been sending us videos of his practices and his practice long runs. And, I mean, he's just such an athlete. We're so blessed to have him as our colleague as well. And now they're playing Thunder. Can you hear it?
This is one of Colby Thielen's favorite songs.
We love this kind of thunder, don't we?
I love it. Still having people come across the start line. I'm starting to see finally, the very end. And we are 18 minutes into the start of this race. Do we want to go out to Gorilla Hill now? Yeah, let's toss it out to Colby Thielen. Hey, Colby, how's it going?
We're excited to come back to Gorilla Hill this year because after last year we saw how much fun it was what a good time it was out here. We couldn't resist.
There's so much energy. It was a little slow to start because of the weather, of course,
Right.
but we've watched a lot of people start to funnel in here. They started putting up about 500 balloons within the last hour or so.
Yeah, really this part of the marathon preparation was a sprint for these folks, but fortunately they have an army of bananas to help them. And when the rain started coming down this morning, these bananas didn't split, Lisa. They stuck in and lifted the giant 30-foot arch, the gorilla. All of this stuff was down this morning. It did not look like this. The last hour has really been a lot of
Yeah, we
awesome.
definitely saw a difference from last year to this year. The 50-foot gorilla did not go up till about 5 a.m. this morning due to the weather, but they are ready. They are assembled.
We're hearing some cheers. We're hearing some cheers right now.
We right now, let's step out of the way to let
Yeah.
Ben show them that the wheelchair.
This is the excitement. This is what everybody talks
Coming
about on
through right
Gorilla
now.
Hills. You have all these people that are ready and able to just cheer you on to the fullest. By the way, these guys in the banana costumes, I'm told were here at about 8 p.m. last night. And they've been out here having a good time.
They're here to
enjoying a
do it
couple
for
Coca-Colas.
inspiration, Colby. They say they're here to offer a banana to the runners when they get between miles 6 and 7, but they're also here to inspire them to keep going.
Absolutely, and this morning, even when the rain was coming down, we were thankful that Lisa got us these banana buckets. Amanda Taylor provided the nice banana
She made
necklaces.
these.
Made these for us.
Fantastic.
We're having a great time out here, guys. Of course, we hear the cheers. We know the runners are not far, just a couple of miles away. So, of course, we'll be coming back here.
Yeah, we're getting excited. It's starting to amp up out here, so we'll check back in with you in a little bit when we see some of the lead runners coming through.
Yeah, for now, we'll send it back to you at the start line.
All right, Colby and Lisa, thank you so much. You know, I asked, where are their banana suits and gorilla suits? And I'm being told, stay tuned. They're going to have a costume change, and you won't want to miss it.
Oh, my goodness, so much fun. And that's what we love about the marathon. Let's see where we are. Well, Lacey, we're getting close.
Okay, I think that is.
Are we?
I think we've gotten everybody across the start line.
Wow.
At this point, I see Oklahoma City Police on bikes coming through for the backside, and I think we are good to go.
Oh.
So you have now seen every runner start from the start line in this race.
Oh, my goodness. And we're cheering you on, that's for sure. Our cameras are really across all of the 26 miles.
Yes. That is it for the start line here. Again, the finish line all at the same spot this time, which is so cool that everyone will come across that same finish line.
At Oklahoma City Boulevard and Hudson. And, man, they did it really in about 20 minutes. They got about 20,000 runners across the start line here. We'll
All
be
right.
following everything all along the way of the course.
Yeah. How many high fives did you give? I think I gave about 100.
I didn't give as many as I wanted to, but I'm telling you, I was cheering everybody on.
I love it. So that is it from the start line. Let's see. It took 21 minutes to get everyone across the start line. That's 22,500
Okay, so where are you
people.
headed now?
I'm going to head down to the finished party at the Scissortail Park.
Okay.
So it's past the finish line, which is where you're going. I'm going to the big party at Scissortail.
Okay, I'm headed to the finish line, so I'll be seeing all those runners. I'll be interviewing the runner that wins the men's marathon and the half and the relays. I'll be interviewing every one of them. Bobby Miller and her kids are coming. I can't wait to see my son cross the finish line as well. So we will be continuing our coverage here on News 9.
Yeah, that's it from the start line. We will send it back now to Amanda and Carl. Guys, take it away.
Ladies, great job. Thank you very much. Well done. There's so much energy at the start, isn't there? You just feel like you could run longer than a marathon or a half marathon. You really just kind of have that confidence.
And it is so much fun to watch, too, because that's before all the runners spread out. So you really get to see just the magnitude of this race here in Oklahoma City. This race means so much for everyone. Mark Bravo, our race analyst, I want to bring you in, Mark, because now we have everybody past the start line. So how does that work? Their times don't start until they pass that start line.
Indeed, their official time. Folks are wondering, I got to get my best start. You get up beyond your means, and that can get you in trouble. As mentioned before, running too quickly early because of all the pomp and circumstance that goes on. Very easy if you're a 9-minute pacer to go 7:30 for a couple of miles. That might seem negligible. It will not serve you well, right?
Not in a marathon.
Yes,
you'll feel it.
Yeah.
Indeed. Long day. The way they do this is called, and it was very efficient today. We have had 25 and 30-minute processions through the start line. Today in 20, as Robin said, it's now called a wave start. They are not traditional corrals, A, B, C, D, you used to see on a number.
Right.
And you went to that one. It's a wave. You are lining up as per your ability level, and every 4 to 7 minutes they send the next wave as per how many were in each. Really worked nicely there. And I even have top 4 right now.
Ooh, already
leader
getting
in all
ahead.
4 races.
Yeah, do
Quickly,
tell.
last year's marathon winners, I have Mater in the male, Corey in the, Christy Coleman in the women's race, leading early on. Now, Christy is trying to repeat. There are many athletes trying to repeat today. We'll talk about them. Al Mater won last year. Al is leading the half. Corey Larson is leading the men's marathon. And Allie Andrews, I knew she might figure in and be ready to really challenge, is a very early leader, keep in mind, but leading right now.
Allie Andrews, by the way, I talked to her. She's pretty confident. She's running the half, and she's just going off her times, and based on last year's time, she thinks she's going to be in the mix. So
you told me she was fired up and thought she had a great chance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She's got some confidence there. Let's just kind of talk about the race today. We had some rain. It's going to be hot. Just
right.
What does that mean for the elite runners when you have a hot and steamy day? I'd imagine that not a lot of personal records are going to be set today on this course. It's going to be tough.
Hot is one thing, and it figures into a distance runner. Steamy, humid, that's the big word, because that's a silent destroyer. You think it feels pretty great, and right now it does. When they start coming back south, they will be facing a wind, and that is on a lot of their minds. So what we've been talking about all week long, from the marathon to coaches to folks giving diligence, is possibly guide your prediction downward, your expectations. You can still have a blowout day, but it is very important to remember one word on a day like today with the conditions you mentioned that might arise. That is patience. Run level. Patience. Don't get carried away. Don't try to outrun the distance. I've tried that. You might fool your body and outrun a 5K. Maybe a 10K. You don't try it in the marathon. It can be not pretty.
Well, the marathon is trying to do a little bit to help. They have brought in 20,000 popsicles for the finish line here, and also at Westminster Church, they're going to have those for the runners who just need a little something cooler to help with their run.
And this was just a last-minute change,
it
right?
Was.
They weren't sure they were going to have to do this or not, but just based on the forecast, what was happening yesterday, how hot it got, they thought, let's bring in these popsicles. They're going to love them at the finish line, and probably there at the halfway point, they're going to love them there as well.
They are always editing. Any marathon team is doing so. On a day and a weekend where the weather was so questionable, you are always on it. Into the morning, they were thinking about possible options.
As the runners go throughout this course, and there is something for everyone. And let me just say, as you're watching this, even if you're not into running in particular, you're going to enjoy this coverage, because we are going to take you through the city, just like these runners. They get a tour of the city. We're going to take you through the city. We're going to be checking in with our crews all along the race course that goes through 25 different neighborhoods. So we're going to be doing that throughout this broadcast. We'll be showing you some of the stories and, of course, the reasons people run, and they vary. I mean, so many of them come out here. We all come out here to remember the 168 lives lost. And so many of them, though, have their personal stories on why they are running out here. So we are looking forward throughout these next couple of hours to bringing you those stories live.
And even if you're not running, if you're volunteering, people want to participate in this run, however that is, right? So, and then you have neighborhoods. You mentioned the neighborhoods, how much pride they take and getting their numbers out, getting their neighbors out, and being along the race route to cheer on.
Yes. You know what? We're going to take you through those neighborhoods coming up. We're going to check in with our crew, so stay with us as our marathon coverage continues right after this. And welcome back to the 24th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon Run to Remember. We are live in downtown Oklahoma City. It is great to be with you. We have crews spread out throughout the 25 different neighborhoods that this course will go through today.
We'll be checking in with those crews along the way. We first want to go out to Chris Williams. He's at the Paycom Center, and he's been out there from the start seeing this group of runners go through. And now it's kind of the last few there that are going through the Paycom Center, and they're being cheered along by that drum line. Chris?
Yep, we're to the walking portion now with a lot of the crew coming through here. This drum line has not dropped the energy at all over the last 40 minutes. They are fully going like we are at a Thunder basketball game. And guys, I've been shocked by how many people have gone out of their way to get a selfie. You can see it right now. Get a selfie or a picture with Rumble. So if you're tracking someone's bib and you see them take a little sidetrack, just know they're getting a picture with Rumble, getting excited here. But this drum line has been bringing it. We're hitting the tail end of the crowd here. The streets were lined with people with signs. A lot of excitement outside the Paycom Center. I'm sure that excitement has just moved up the road a little bit as this run continues. Guys?
I love that, and that is so much fun down there outside the Thunderdome, the Thunder drum line, getting everybody going.
I tell you what, it is amazing to hear. Even if you have the headphones on, you have your earbuds in, you're running to something. When you hear that drum line, you're for sure feeling that.
Get you
well,
going.
No matter what you're listening to. So yeah, but Mark, you're a purist. We know that. You don't listen to music, right?
I don't.
No.
Take it all in.
I'm too old school. Music didn't exist to travel with when I began running and marathoning.
You never had a Walkman with like a cassette?
I had an AM/FM radio. My first 16-mile run. I didn't know what 16 miles was. So about 8 miles when I was fairly sure I had created a concussion because it was like this I'm running with. A big headphones. Threw them off. Never again have I put anything on.
Yeah, why does my neck hurt?
Indeed.
It's just weight on top of my head.
We know a lot of people want to take in all the sights and sounds. One of the best places to go take it in would have to be Gorilla Hill. That is such a fun spot.
Where the party really starts when the setup is going on, right? Like overnight.
All week long.
All week long.
You got a 25-foot tall gorilla.
Yeah, we got Colby Thielen and Lisa Monahan out there at Gorilla Hill covering it all. Go ahead, guys.
Here we are. Colby.
Hey guys, the party's already started out here. If you can't tell, we're getting some work in, we're getting some excitement. We know that things are headed our way. And I lost Lisa. She blended with the crowd. She blended in with the crowd. She's become one of them. There's 60 bananas out here.
They're having a good time. A bunch of bananas, having a really great time out here. How long have you guys been out here today?
Forever.
Too long.
Since last night. Why be out here?
Why not? We love Gorilla Hill.
You know these runners love Gorilla Hill too because of this energy. They're getting on their way here very soon, and the excitement here, the energy here, you're seeing it right now.
They are so ready to cheer on these runners as they come through here. They were so excited. They got started bringing the energy last night. As you can see, there's no shortage of energy here today.
No doubt, and you know what? That's the reason we wanted to have this assignment again. And if we didn't, I was going to be apoplectic. Yeah, that was going to happen. We see a car coming right now. Are those the runners right here behind us? Can you guys see?
MVP Shay.
I believe we have some. You guys, I know, want to cheer on the runners.
All right, they're going to go cheer them on. Go cheer them on, guys. They're coming this way. The DJ's cranking out here. Here we go. You know, we saw spectators starting to come out of their homes early this morning, and that's one of the really fun parts, Lisa, is when we're out here early and you see all the lights in the neighborhood start coming on as people are getting up early and walking out.
And more people coming to cheer on the runners. I would say that there are probably about 24 bananas and then a whole lot of spectators here right now.
No doubt, and these bananas worked hard to get this on. Here comes a car. This is the kind of energy for every single runner and walker that's going to come up this street today. They're getting the exact same response. That looked like Almeida, I think. I believe so. All right, we're trying to get a view from behind here.
At Gorilla Hill. to the runners as they come through. As we saw, he just passed right by the banana stand.
And I love seeing their faces as they come up Chartel. They get to about 38th Street, and they can hear it, and you just get to see the smiles come across their faces.
And that's what they're offering. They're offering a physical banana and then also banana inspiration. They're out here trying to cheer them on. If you're starting to get tired, it's that extra oomph.
Exactly. We're going to be out here as the rest of the pack comes through in just a little bit. You can guarantee there'll be a lot of excitement. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Early.
Thank you so much, Colby and Lisa. We absolutely love seeing everything and all the excitement going on down there. We're going to be checking in with you a lot throughout the next couple of hours. We got to talk about the half marathon right now because it is such a close race.
Indeed. In the men's race, Mader again is leading. Bundrock is in second place. Only now Mader right now is a minute and a half ahead in the half, and Mackenzie Wapapa Harris is right there with number 2 Bundrock. So they are roughly, and this is a big margin this early in the half marathon, about 90 seconds.
I know that kind of seems, the margin might seem like a surprise, but I don't think it's a surprise that it's Al Mader there leading the way. I mean, he set the record for the half marathon in Tulsa last year
at Route 66.
I mean, he won it here, the full marathon in
last year.
Yeah, and kind of had a great form and one kind of going away last year.
He has a long list of victories. Also the Tulsa Run, one of the most storied runs in the history of Oklahoma road racing, 15K traditional, 47 years in the running. He won it a couple of years ago. Everyone wants that championship. I asked him earlier this week, what are you running, Al? And he said, Mark, I got a heart right now to really hone in on short distance, 5K, 10K, but I am going to run the half. I think it's hard for these guys who have such Oklahoma history and such Memorial Marathon history not to toe it up for one of the 2 big races.
For sure.
And he kind of has a little bit of a redemption story. So he was in this race back in 2018. He never finished it. He said he started running. He just wasn't able to get there. And so he actually dropped out of that race, mid-race, and then he stopped running for a few months. He said he was in the middle of a graduate program, but then he had some really good friends who said, you need to get back out there. His job started clicking. He got through the graduate school, and then look where he is now. And I hope we see him at the finish line here because he is a showman at the finish line.
From last year,
yeah,
you remember that.
Yes.
Well, he started celebrating, early because it was just him in sort of a runaway last year, and it looked like he was going to tear off his shirt Hulk Hogan style as he was coming down Boulevard. So Al Mader's a lot of fun.
And he has found a certain type of solace with the sport that he didn't know if he had even 2-3 short years ago. So while this is important to everybody, to Al, it's a different level of it per the story you mentioned.
It is so much fun to watch. So obviously Al this year is running the half marathon. We got to be talking about the marathon too because that race is well underway.
Yeah, we have David Payne who again this year is with the leaders. He's in the truck following. And so David, let's bring him in and welcome to the coverage here of the 2024 Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. How's it going from your vantage point?
You know, guys, it's going great. Not disappointing. Again, it's incredible. The weather turned out just fine. The rain is gone. We're still cloudy. But so we just went through Gorilla Hill like 30 seconds ago, and I think there was more people out there this year than last year. So awesome. You can see the leaders. We have 3. It's a 3-way race right now. They've kind of gone back and forth. They kind of are talking and kind of doing their thing. But we have you can see a 3-person race at this point, and they're headed northbound. And temperatures are cool, but not too bad out here. But these, they're moving right now. We're having to really stay ahead of them. There's not been a slowdown at all. I mean, their pace is good. They look good. And, again, they're doing their thing right now. So no weather problems. And the runners, you can see the 3 on the left. The one on the right, that's going to be your half marathon. And the 3 there back to the left of the yellow line, those are your 3 first place or second or third, all there together. It's a tight group right now as we make our way to the north. So, guys, we're here. The crowds are big. They're fired up. They're yelling. They're excited. They're all going nuts out here. We come around corners, and literally it's just like It's better than last year, I swear, and it's cool, it's nice, but man, people are they're loving it, and we love all the support out here. It's so cool to see all this.
We love it as well. David Payne, we know you put in a lot of hours yesterday and overnight, so thank you for tracking for us today. We really appreciate that. If you are watching and you're thinking, okay, how am I going to tell the difference between somebody who's running the full marathon, the half marathon, or the relay? They do have different colored bibs. So full will be wearing green colored, half yellow, and the relay will have red bibs on.
Yeah, that's information that if you're watching, you can watch our shots. If you're not watching from Jim Gardner's shot, you'll kind of know who that person is, which race that they are in.
So we just checked in with David Payne, who is tracking the lead men's runner with the marathon, Lacey Swope. She is so busy this morning as well. Lacey, thank you also for working so hard yesterday and also being out there today tracking the lead women runners.
Absolutely, guys. Good morning. We are approaching Gorilla Hill right now. These are the lead female runners. Now, you will recognize bib number 454. That is Christy Coleman. She won the marathon last year. And next to her is Ashley. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's Carry On. Mark will know. But these are your lead female marathon runners right now approaching Gorilla Hill. They're about 7 miles-ish in. And they are rock solid. They are so impressive to watch these women run. They're running at about a 6:28 pace. I mean, we are stunned. Dylan and I here in the truck this morning chasing them, and look at all the people cheering them on. We passed the drum lines. We passed people singing. We've passed people just doing cheers. Lots of cowbells this morning, passed lots of them. Every once in a while, Christy will give folks a high five, always cracks a smile, but she's very focused. And you can hear Gorilla Hill, guys. It's going to be hard to hear you now because we are in the fun right now, all the bananas jumping around. And like David mentioned, the weather's perfect. It's cool right now, which the runners tell me is absolutely perfect. So those are your lead female marathon runners right now, and they are rocking it. Back to you.
Yeah, familiar names. Lacey, thank you very much. Familiar names there at the top. Christy Coleman, we saw her do so well last year, winning on the women's side full marathon.
She also won the half in 2022.
Right.
She is a mother of 3 boys, and she joked last year after she won. She says, running kind of gives me a little break. I need that. I think everybody can appreciate that as well. But she is quite the runner. You also have some information on the other lead women runners.
Yes, and one other thing. I'm sure that everyone thinks, like Christy said, that 75 miles a week is a break. But
right.
To each their own.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Number 2.
So what do we know about Ashley Carry-On, who's right there as well?
As Ashley Miller, she won the half twice. Her husband's won the half, Jazz Carry-On. And Ashley is coming off 2 childbirths. They've got 2 kids. They are dear friends of ours. She spent a lot of time at OK Runner working, and we see them a lot. And she decided this year to focus in on the full. And she is...
I know it's her 3rd marathon that she's done.
And she's University of
Iowa.
I got Nebraska here, but for Carry-On, but maybe I got that wrong. But yeah,
indeed.
But
ran and played basketball. They're my fault.
Yeah,
yes.
and she's also a dietitian.
Yes,
and I've noticed that with a lot of these runners, that nutrition is such a big thing that not only in their training, but actually like in their education. I think we have some runners there that, like, we have a PhD in nutrition.
They fall in line
on the course as well. I mean,
makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And so, how important is that when you get to that elite runner status? You're getting older. The miles are getting longer.
Yes.
And how important is nutrition?
Consummately important. And a number of these athletes are like nutritionists, exercise physiologists, human performance majors. So they live in this world quite a lot.
Mikhail Montgomery, by the way, that's what I was
Yes.
thinking. She's the scientist, PhD in nutrition.
That's right.
And so, tremendous
And
runner who won in 2022.
Oklahoma City course record holder, winner last year. And number 3, just quickly, Kat Lyle. You'll be familiar with her. Catherine won 4 Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. She's got the record. In the field, as mentioned, Camille Herron's got 3. But Kat Lyle going for 4, and she is very familiar on the course. Her husband, Stuart Lyle, a doctor, is a big-time runner, and I imagine Stu is running again today. But Kat is in the hunt. Kat, Christy, and Ashley at one time or another have been training partners together.
Oh, wow.
So they're used
It's
to it.
anybody's race to win, really.
Yeah. So
No question.
on the race course itself, when they're together, are they kind of thinking like we're going to run together this first part of it, or are they thinking strategy like where do I make my move? How does it work when we're this early in a long race?
It's race by race. Maybe they have a pseudo agreement to run together earlier, but as you know, everyone wants the title, so it is everyone for themselves at some point. But there is definitely an aiding factor, a helping factor to having others with you. You all know that basically maybe you want to go 6:20 a mile, and you help each other take your minds off it, almost share the load that way. Good point.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to see which one breaks away first and really gets a big lead.
Yes.
We're looking forward to that. We want to go back to just such a fun spot. This has been a tradition since 2010, and it really started as a unique way to give back. Of course, we are talking about Gorilla Hill.
You know, they've raised so much money over the years
They
for
have.
the foundation, for the memorial. So it's just impressive, and all this while throwing a party, right?
Everybody
They're
has so
throwing
much
the biggest
fun.
party of the
Big
year. So
party.
Colby Thiel and Lisa Monahan, take it away from Gorilla Hill.
Carl, Amanda, as you can probably hear right now, it got so loud just a second ago as a big wave of runners came through. And it is truly exciting, not only for these runners who are 7 miles in, but for the families in this neighborhood. This is really a family event. We've seen little babies in banana costumes.
Bananas from all ages, probably about 60 to 100 bananas. And the man behind it all, Steve Cole, he is the one with the inspiration that led to this landmark location. Tell us why you do it.
Group event. It takes a village, a big community, you know. So, how fun is this, though?
It's so great. What's it like to see people show up here on something that you started to support these runners?
You know, it's thrilling. The whole thing. You know, it's all about our community. It's all about 168 really special humans. And it's something to remember them by, It's so awesome. It's awesome.
And you and I were talking just before they came to us, Colby, we were saying as we see the bulk of these runners start to approach Gorilla Hill, their faces seem to just light up when they see this.
Oh my gosh. Runners are the most positive people. They're out here having a blast. They worked hard to be here. And this is just, it's really special.
And Steve, you said it takes a village. This morning it certainly did, because you guys really didn't have anything set up because of the rain.
The weather cleared at about 4:30. We got out here at 5 and put the arch up. It takes a lot of people to do this. It's not just me. But it's the coming together that is what this is about. That's what it's all about.
We really saw that this morning. As you said earlier, Colby, it was a sprint to the finish line to get the gorilla up, to get the arch.
Yeah, but it's so fun. It's so worth it. I mean, just look at this. It's like, this is so cool, I wish everybody was out here to see it. If somebody comes one time, they're going to come every year, because it just is like, it fills your heart to see all this awesomeness,
I think we certainly felt that way.
Yes,
back here again this year.
It's for sure. That's why we're here.
Hey, this guy, you guys are dressed up. Yes.
How can we not be? It's so fun. That's the kind of energy that Gorilla Hill brings, and you can certainly feel it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. And as we send it back to you guys there downtown, I can say that it's a party out here and a lot of energy.
Definitely a lot of fun out here right now.
Yeah, exactly. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, and I know that Steve wanted to put the arch, the balloon arch. That was one thing he said, though. That's the other thing that's hard to do. It takes a lot of people, but when you put it up there in the elements, it might not work out. But it is amazing that the actual gorilla can withstand all this weather. Yeah.
He said they could just go ahead and put it up and then just deflate it down. Yeah, it's good to go for sure. And what a giving heart the mayor of Gorilla Hill has. One of the beautiful things about this course is that all the runners get a chance to really get a scenic tour of Oklahoma City. Not only Oklahoma City, but they're also going to go through the village and through Nichols Hills. And one thing I really like on this Sunday is that there are 25 churches along the way. And so many of these churches have embraced what's going on right beside them. A lot of them are holding their tent revivals outside. You'll have their choir outside. One of the preachers was saying one year he thought everybody was saying hallelujah to him. They were just waving at the runners going by, truth be told. But it gives, everybody a chance to know what's going on throughout these different neighborhoods, and also just to feel the spirit of feel love from everybody, all the spectators.
And that's why you have the race on a Sunday, by the way. That was the day given to the Memorial Marathon crew, is that, there's less traffic any other day of the week. So Sunday, when you're going to close down these roads, you got to do it on a Sunday. Well, what happens on a Sunday? You have church. Well, it kind of puts churches out of business for the day. But instead of not showing up, congregations come out and churches go out of their way to make the runners feel welcome.
They are embracing it for sure.
And the sport and this race has become some folks' religion.
That's true.
It
That's
is true.
Yeah.
It is true. Well, as these runners continue, we want to check in with the lead runner right now, and our lead guy, David Payne, tracking the men's runners in the marathon. David?
All right, guys. We're on the, kind of on the east side of Chesapeake here, and we still have Scherf, Larson, and Sandvik. It's a three-way tie, but just in the last probably 10 minutes, Scherf, if I'm saying that correctly, I think I am. Mark can help me out here. He's kind of fallen back a little bit. Nothing crazy, but he's back a little bit. And up front, we still have Larson and Sandvik. And right now, it's going to be Sandvik who is in the lead currently. Larson, excuse me. Larson is right up front. But these guys are going back and forth. And, a couple of times they'll talk to each other. They'll, high-five each other. I mean, they're kind of like they've known each other forever. So it's kind of cool to watch this go. But Larson there for a minute, kind of backed off and then came back up. So these three guys, again, Scherf, Larson, and Sandvik are still just all there together. And it's been kind of cool. They're not really – no one's stepping up yet. And, that's going to happen at some point. It's going to take over, and somebody's going to really kick it in gear, and somebody's going to begin to drop off at some point. We'll see when that happens. But right now we're up here by Chesapeake, and the race has been good. You can see the people there. We're kind of in an area. There's not a whole lot of people right now, but, man, we have seen a ton of people out here today just having a great time. And, again, the weather's great. But right now it's a three-way tie, and we continue with that. So good-looking weather. And these guys are moving for sure. I don't know their exact time as far as anything crazy. Mark, give us an update on their time in respects to how we've done in the past.
They're doing fine. They're solid. It's going to be tough for anyone to produce a course record today. One never knows, but they're doing great. These are all veteran runners, all friends. As you mentioned, talking to each other, that's not unusual. Aaron Scherf has won the Dallas BMW Marathon, very seasoned. His wife Amanda, has won the half here a couple of times. And Corey Larson, his longtime close training partner, they know Carson Sandvik very well. So right now these are their roads, and they're enjoying each other, helping each other.
So we're kind of getting an overview on this race from a couple of people that really know the running community, like yourself, Mark. And I know that they're looking at like Strava, the Strava app, they're checking times on that to see, is there any gamesmanship on when you're checking in with a friend, a training partner, and you're seeing their times? You're kind of knowing how fast they're going. And so is that part of that? Do you almost want
your homework?
You almost want to not start posting your runs at the end of this thing, just to kind of let your competitors know, even if you guys are the best of friends, training partners ran together.
Oh, leave them guessing.
I would imagine. I'll tell you, these guys. I'm around a lot of these elite on down female male runners, and they are really checking that stuff. It's a good point, Carl. One never knows. I'm sure there's some of that gamesmanship. The real gamesmanship happens today on the course. You don't want to show any weakness. Anyone, whether by a friend or not, or someone they've never known, when you pass someone, the word is, if at all possible, you pass them with real authority, like you own the roads. You may be struggling internally mightily. You don't worry about that. You show them that I'm just beginning to move away from you. All of that figures in, usually from halfway point on, but one never knows.
Let's see if any of that's happening right now with the women's race, unless you had another question for Mark before I move on to Lacey.
No, let's check in with Lacey Swope. She's with the leaders on the women's side. Lacey, how's it going?
Oh, it's looking so good. More of the same. Lots of smiles here from Christy Coleman and Ashley Carrion. I think they're about 1/10 of a mile ahead of the third place women's marathon runner, and we're just coming through the Chesapeake area. That hill, man, that hill looked tough to me that we have to come up here. They did it. They didn't even lose their smile running up the hill. By the way, I got to tell you about the crowd as we were passing by at Chesapeake, all the inflatable dinosaur costumes and the little kids running around in the street. You could not help but laugh. It was the sweetest thing. It gave both Ashley and Christy a chuckle, that's for sure, before they had to tackle that hill, which I say tackle. I mean, it was like they were just going over a mini speed bump. It didn't even really slow them down. And they are still looking amazing every once in a while. I haven't seen them actually talk, but that doesn't mean that they're not. It's just hard to tell from exactly where I am. But they're definitely, I mean, friendly with each other. And for now, they're just kind of keeping the same pace. And we'll see what happens as we get further down the line. But that's Christy Coleman, the winner from the marathon last year, the women's winner, and Ashley Carry-On right there. And as far as we can see in this shot, there's no other women runners close to them at the moment. So we'll see how this goes, guys. We're making the turn coming around Chesapeake, and they're doing good. Are you guys feeling good? They're feeling good. There you go. Smiles and thumbs up. Back to you guys.
We appreciate that, Lacey, so much. Christy Coleman, I had a chance to talk to her, and she said when you live through the bombing here, when you live here, when you learn about it, this is something you want to do to honor those lives lost. That's a sentiment felt by a lot of runners here, but it was just beautiful to hear that from one of the elite runners as well.
Yeah, I think last year when she won, she said she's running this race for the 168 people who will never be able to run a race like this, and she thought about that in her journey last year. I remember Christy Coleman last year having a kind of a group with her. It seemed like more than one pacer. There seemed like several pacers with her. That's not the case today. So Mark, just, running with the pacer, I mean, I think, yes, last year she was like just running with that group. It took my mind out, is what she said. I didn't have to really think about anything. Just kind of, it was like a group run in the morning, for training or whatever. So here she is alone. She's got a friend that she's running with, but she doesn't have those pacers this year. How big a difference is that going to make, you think?
Depends on what you have worked with in the weeks and months ahead, if you're very used to that. Now, Jonathan Morris ran the whole race. He was running with her a lot of the time, so that was legal. You can get into the weeds having a literal pacer, someone come in off the course for 5 miles. That is not allowed under USATF sanctioned law or rules, but Jonathan ran the whole race. That was okay. And she and Ashley are very familiar with each other. And so that is something that they can work with and gain from. And they are probably spinning their wheels internally now about what strategy might take place by them. Quick thing on that. In the 1984 women's marathon, first time women were allowed to run past 2,000 meters in the marathon in the Olympics. 1984, our Joan Benoit Samuelson of America, who is here as an invited legend, maybe running the half today, finished. She's 66 years old.
She's incredible.
Finished fifth in the women's 5K yesterday, running 7-minute pace. But quickly, at 2 miles, she moved away from arguably the fastest women's field in marathon history. And Bill Rogers was in the truck. He's here, too, as an invited legend for ABC. He said, oh, no, that's a mistake. And she never looked back. She doesn't look back. No one even sniffed her the rest of the day. She said, I was too uncomfortable. Everyone was pensive at the start. They weren't allowing her even to have her regular gait. And she could have stayed with them and been conservative. She said, I got to be comfortable. I got to run my own race. So these women will end up running their own races when that starts. If it hasn't yet, we'll see.
That's how people feel at the start of the 5K, just so you know. Yesterday, I can't run my own gait. I need some space.
I saw you yesterday, Carl.
It's with the elite runners, too. I feel good about that. Yeah.
I was pushing and shoving in the senior yesterday. Not really. But, you get your game face on.
Absolutely.
1.2 miles. And that senior, we'll talk later about a new addition, second year. Very cool at Oklahoma City. We honor everybody.
Already very popular.
Looking forward to talking more about all the runners, the elite runners, and also some of the wonderful places that people will see and the runners will see along the way. And one of the great places that everybody comes to cheer out has been the Asian District. And one of the great things about this is it gives some of the runners a chance to see something maybe they've never even seen here in Oklahoma City before.
Absolutely. We have Tevis Hillis, who's live out there now and waiting for these runners to come through there. Tevis, describe the atmosphere there in the Asian District.
Hey, we're getting more and more people headed our way. Amanda, Carl, good morning. We just saw the leader of the half marathon go through. More and more men are going through. These guys are half marathoners. This is the best place to stand because you get to see everyone come through. Look, here they come. Woo! I'm with my friend William. William, can you tell me exactly what's on our heads right now? What are we celebrating?
So this is like
thank you, William.
Here, this is
Thank you.
This is the Asian District's booth, and our theme is Dragon Ball Way. Dragon Ball Z. So we have the sign set up right there if you want to take a picture of that.
William's doing great. He's been talking my ear off this entire time.
So
and we've got some iced coffee.
We've got like
clappers.
these things so we could clap for the people like.
That's our women's leader for the half marathon right there.
We've also got samples of Lee's Iced Coffee. And then we've got the Goku hats,
Goku hats. Okay, I'm going to put my Goku hat back on. We're at Dragon Way here in the Asian District. William, keep chatting my ear off. I appreciate you. Okay, let's toss it back to Amanda and Carl.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tevis.
Tevis, thank you.
We love the energy out there, and that's what racers are going to experience all throughout the race course. It's different, too, everywhere they go throughout that 26.2 mile course.
Absolutely. We'll have more of the course, the race coming up. We do have to take a break here as the 2024 Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon continues. Okay.
And welcome back to this special coverage of the Run to Remember, the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. I'm Amanda Taylor, joined by Carl Torp and our race analyst, Mark Bravo, our good friend. We're glad you're here with us today as well.
We are watching these races, and one's about to cross the line right now.
Didn't know that.
We have Al Mader, who is also running with the wind. It's impressive because when you go to that leaderboard for the half marathon, all you see is his name right there. So there is no second place. So it is Al's race right now. He's probably going to win it. So we're just trying to go through, hey, what's the course record? I mean, could he actually do it?
It's Scott Smith, and I believe it's 66 minutes. He's not going to set a course record today.
Okay.
Yes, but and we got Jim Gardner keeping his eyes from the sky on him.
I think it's so exciting that Al's doing this, but it's a little bit different because I always think with these elite runners, they start with a shorter distance, they get really good, and as they get older, they go to long distances. So like that marathon might be kind of like the last of their competitive career. The race is the marathon. He did the marathon last year. He won it, kind of going away. He's doing the half this year. It's like he kind of dialed back the distance and is going from kind of like a faster half because he set the marathon in Tulsa. Is that common to have a runner, kind of elite runner, go backwards as far as length of a race goes?
Let me tell you something Bill Rogers said, four-time Boston, four-time New York City winner last night when we were having dinner. He was telling some of the other younger runners and Memorial Marathon folks, at this stage, our marathon becomes our half marathon. And frankly, for me, it's become my 10K. And he's in a whole different area code than anyone else virtually. For me, it's 5K, 10K. But Al is just checking them off. This is going to be another distance of victory for him in a marquee race in Oklahoma and a marquee destination race in the United States.
Look at him.
Has won all of the big races here in Oklahoma, and he is now poised to win the half marathon race here today. Look at his stride. He is not slowing down at all.
He really isn't. He's really alive. And again, he's focusing, to your point, Carl, really right now on going the other way, 5K, 10K. But I think this meant too much, as we talked earlier, not to run one of the marquee races at Oklahoma City. Has not won the half here. It's going to happen today, it looks like.
And I know you not said record it's not going to set a course record, but it's super impressive. As he comes down, he'll be making his way down to Oklahoma City Boulevard, where all the racers, no matter what race you're doing, will be finishing this year.
Go
ahead, please.
Well, thank you. A new change as of these last few years by the Marathon Committee is this finish. Not only Scissortail Park and being greeted by such a festival there, but the procession down Oklahoma City Boulevard. First time I had experienced, again, it was the senior marathon yesterday. Every race this year experiences this. All of the banners, the wide expanse. We can handle a lot of people.
He is down the finish line set. This is Al Mader, who won last year's full and is going to win this year's half. Congrats to him. He did it in style, running away from the field early in this one. As we check the leaderboard, we do have a second place now, but it's several minutes behind Al, who's going to take this title this year.
And here Al Mader comes. So exciting as he sets his goal to win this half marathon here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, just so impressive. He was, again, set the record for Tulsa in the half just last year.
Yes.
So that was a November race, and he set the record. I don't think anyone's even ready to cheer here. They're like, what, there's a runner? He's surprising everyone.
And this is a beautiful moment, too. You'll see the banners off to the side. That is remembering all the 168 lives lost.
And Mark, to your point, it is great that they have all the races finishing there, because I thought yesterday during the 5K, it really gives it a bigger event feel.
No question.
Just that distance. So, and he's still turning it on there.
Al is such a cerebral runner, but he cuts loose as we saw last year. Let's see.
He's kicking it in. He's kicking it in. Doesn't matter where you are. If you have some kick in you, you let it go.
All right, congratulations to Al Mader, our half marathon men's winner for today.
69 minutes, quality time.
Quality time. It's just, and you get, I mean, I know he looks like he's working out there, but at the same time, he doesn't look that tired, does he? He doesn't look that tired.
He is so impressive. Well, a big congratulations to him. We'll be getting interviews with all of our winners down from the finish line momentarily.
Yeah, I guess we have to get kind of everyone in places now. I guess Al put us all on record there to get down to me now.
That is amazing.
Yeah, great job. Great job.
Congratulations to him. Coming in next will be Jacob Anderson in the half and Noah Bundrock, who is also in the half. At least that's what it's timing at right now.
And Al at sub 5:20 pace per mile. Really solid. So he's still got the distance gene in him, and it was so great to hear he was going to run the half, knock off another victory here. And again, he runs his own race. He learned early on you can't take it out like crazy from the race that he needed to step off the course. But wow, sometimes those days make the runner and make them down the road a much better runner to stay.
I know that you were talking about how when you're passing a runner on the course, you want to do it dramatically. You want to kind of put the hammer down. And I remember Al doing that last year in the full. I don't think he had to do that at all today. It was his race to lose, and he did amazing. So
congratulations to him. We are also following the women's half marathon winners. They are getting close, probably just about less than 2 miles out at this point from us getting a winner. Leading in that race, Allie Andrews right now.
So
Allie's kind of got an interesting story, and I had a chance to talk to her because she did not run cross country in college. She's a high school runner. And she kind of got back into running. Her first full marathon was last year. But she ran in Indy. She qualified for Boston and was going to do Boston. But then she went snowboarding and she broke her arm.
Oh.
So she broke her arm. She couldn't run. She couldn't train. She got medically cleared to run again in March. It wasn't enough time to do anything for Boston, but here she is in the half, and she felt pretty good about it. She felt she was looking at her time. She's like, I think if I can stick with this time, that's going to put me near the top. And so here she is winning by several minutes, I think.
Absolutely incredible.
And confidence is so big. if you go in thinking you got a shot. You compare times, you know most of your competitors, it seems, and they talk about running being 90% mental, and in the Legends forum yesterday, those legends were talking about, seemed to agree, you run the first 2/3 with your body, you run the last third with your heart. And there is a lot to that, the intangibles. And we're going to see some stuff unfold today. You just never know. At Oklahoma City, we get a lot of talent. And remember, no prize money. Normally, elite athletes must measure where they're going to run because you have only so many of these per year to go after that bag.
They run for another reason for sure.
You got that right.
Let's hear from the winner on the men's side of the half marathon, Al Mader.
Let's go down to Robin Marsh right now with that winner. Hi, Robin.
Hello, Amanda, Carl, and Mark. I am with Al Mader. Al, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You won the full last year. You won the half today. Your time 1:09. How you feel about your time?
No, I'm pretty happy with time. Some days it's gonna be tough to run, a PR or anything. So I was trying more to go by effort and save a little bit for the last few miles. I knew they'd be tough. So, I'm thrilled I was under 70 for how much I felt like it was getting tough at the end. Not a best time, but again, some days you just run hard, you run for fun, and I ran hard, so I'm happy with whatever.
Well, you won, so you must be happy with that. Why is the Oklahoma City Marathon so special, Al?
Yeah, I've mentioned it a year or two, past couple years, but I feel like there's very few moments growing up from Oklahoma City, Norman, that give you the chills you get at the start line. And I just, the first year I did it, I was hooked. You just don't get that feeling a lot, so I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can. Yeah.
What does it mean to be running, with 20,000 people? And there is something very special about the OKC Marathon.
There is, and that's why, I was pretty happy after last year, but I felt like I just had to come back and do something again. Again, as an Oklahoma kid, and Oklahoma's biggest cheerleader, I've said that anything with the community, anything that gets this city excited, I am 100% about. I love watching the city grow and just trying to be a part of it, celebrate it the best way I can. Yeah.
All right, you feeling okay? Your legs doing okay?
Doing good. I'm feeling really pretty good. It just, it got tough, but it's a good tired. So nothing's wrong. The half marathon, it's a little more friendly than the full. So my body feels good. Just it gets tough, but I'm feeling great now that I'm done.
Well, you won the full last year, the half this year. Are you running the full next year?
It's a long way away. I think, I don't know. Don't hold me to it. I think I'm going to do the full next year.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to venture on maybe do some other races, maybe try to do Boston or some other big ones in April. So give me one more year at the full next year, and then I'll kind of do it off and on. But yeah, I think I will, but again, long way away. I'm just going to enjoy the next few months,
Well, our men's half marathon champion, Al Mader, congratulations.
No, I appreciate it. It's good to see you guys again.
There you go. That medal looks good around your neck, friend.
All right.
Congratulations. Yeah. All right, there he is, our half winner, guys.
Absolutely incredible, Robin. Thank you. Thank you for that interview. And we are getting really close to getting a women's half marathon winner as well.
Yeah, Allie Andrews. She's winning this thing by, it looks like, about a minute so far. So she's expected to come through the finish line pretty soon now, just a few minutes away. In fact, I hear the crowd kind of cheering, so she must be pretty close here as we take a look at the runners there at Gorilla Hill. But it's exciting time, but you kind of forget how fast these runners are.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking about the weather being a factor today, and I guess I mean it for everybody else on the course, because when our half winners get done, it's still pretty cool out there, and there's a little bit of a breeze. It feels good to run in this.
Here she comes as we take a live look at the finish line.
Good for her.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is the male. Must be another half marathon winner.
This is it.
I'm sorry. Not quite there yet, but we are. Oh, that's not just
Jerry.
someone. That is Jerry Faulkner
there you
right
go.
there. And he, tell us a little bit about him, Mark, because he's a good friend of yours.
Jerry's won the half and the full here in 2006. Really a storied race, one of the most crazy finishes in history, Memorial Marathon, where he led the entire way in 05 in his second marathon. And with about 400 meters left, somebody comes up. Turns out that it's Matt Aguirre. They got to know each other very well. And Matt had to explain he was in the full to the officer on Broadway. And he comes by Jerry probably with 200 meters to go, wins that race. Jerry devoted himself. He said, nothing matters, time, anything else, but winning in 06. He did so. 2:31 in 05. He won in a 5-minute longer time, 2:36. He now is in New York working for Adidas, and he came back these last 2 years as an invited guest. This means the world to him, the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. Came off a history of golf before running in college.
Wow.
And
you know who started him here with our Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon Relay? Our own Alex Cameron and Ann Cameron.
That's right.
Alex and him used to be neighbors, and they're like, you know what? You should come out and run with us. Like, wow, you're
Alex
pretty
said.
good.
It's like, hey, you've done this before.
So he was on one of the relay teams, his very first relay with Ann Cameron, Alex's wife, and they said, you got something here.
You might want to look at winning this race one year. And that's what he did.
And he loves to give back to other runners in encouragement. He does it a lot. He's quite young. Well, he's 41 now. I met him right after that 05 race. Hard to imagine. But he always goes after it when he's on the course. He said, if my window opens, I'll try to win this thing. And he gave it a great shot today.
It was great seeing him there. We are a couple of minutes out now from, it looks like Allie Andrews in the lead in the half women's marathon race. As we're waiting for them, I do want to just talk about the medals that these winners will get. This is incredibly special to not only the runners, but just our community and the symbolism on these medals. So MTM recognition, they have made these medals from the very start. And every year they're a little bit different, but every year they do have the survivor tree on them. And just like the survivor tree itself, they change, the medals change slightly every year, but they still hold true to what this means to the race and that survivor tree right there. So much symbolism there.
And it's a point of pride for MTM recognition as well to just be able to do this every single year.
Every single year.
And I mean they do trophies all around the world, right? And college football trophies, bowl game trophies, all these things, national championship
a Metro
trophies.
company.
A Metro company
Cherished
doing all that
Oklahoma
here.
City company.
Yeah.
So they delivered about 6,500 pounds of these things to be handed out today, and every person to cross that finish line will get one, whether they are running the full, the half, or the relay.
It's such a big deal no matter the race to get a medal too. I mean, it's like yesterday at the 5K we got done. They weren't giving the medals till later, and I was kind of thinking, well, maybe we don't get medals and we get something else. And then I'm like, oh, they're right there. Okay.
You betcha.
Great.
There's also a special medal too. There's a Why We Run weekend series medal. So if you run the half marathon today and the full marathon, and you also ran the 5K yesterday,
Well,
then you
the half or full.
half or full today.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. And the 5K yesterday, then you get this special medal.
It's quite a tradition now, a trend, the double, and Oklahoma City created that a few years ago for this race, and it is really a celebration all weekend long. You saw that it was just a vibrant expo on Friday and Saturday. Folks getting their game faces on, and to run the double, the Why We Run, and then that Oklahoma Standard medal, if you were to run Route 66, which comes up
the Tulsa race.
Third weekend, the half or full in third weekend in November, and our race. There's quite a partnership between the two.
And the Why We Run series filled up the fastest of all, the races. That was the one that filled up first.
Blaine Arthur, whose mother died in the bombing, she is doing that series. She's running the half marathon right now. As we continue to watch the lead. Is this the lead female?
Is this Allie Andrews?
We've got Allie coming in.
That is
now.
Allie.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're watching her as she goes down the home stretch. But I was saying that Blaine Arthur, she's running for her mom, and she is running the half today. She ran the 5K yesterday as well. And she was never a runner before, but she wanted to get out there. It just means a lot to her that she gets out there, remembers her mom, but everybody else does as well.
it's contagious, right? If you come out here to cheer on the runners, you just kind of get a taste of it. All of a sudden, you want to be more a part of it. You want to compete, and so I think that's definitely something we see year in, year out, especially at the expo. By the way, if you weren't signed up for a race and you showed up to that expo, chances are you're running today at something, right?
That's right. It's a real graduation. Some people begin as volunteers, do as you said, on to came cheering, then volunteers, then in some way participating. And it's created a wellness initiative in Oklahoma, this Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
Here comes Allie Andrews, we believe, the half marathon winner on the female side. It looks like she's going to take it home, and good for her because we were just kind of told about her, and to have this moment here, congratulations. Allie Andrews, the winner of the half on the female side. Congrats to her.
A big congratulations to her. Robin Marsh will be grabbing her momentarily to bring us a live interview.
No, that's super impressive, though, because, you know, a lot of these runners, these elite runners, they ran in college. They ran cross country, and then they kind of got doing professional races here and there. And she just ran her first marathon last year and got the bug. And so she did run in Indianapolis full. This was back, I got it last year, and she qualified for Boston. But again, she's a snowboarder, and she broke her arm. Things happen, life happens, but here she is. She couldn't do Boston. She made a point to be here, and just been training really since March. So it's impressive.
And we love her smile as well as she crossed that finish line.
Ran a sub 6:20 half marathon.
Put that into perspective for us.
That's 6 minutes, 20 seconds a mile times 13 consecutive.
Yeah, I think she was trying for sub 125, so she did that a lot more.
For an elite runner to conquer their goal by 2 minutes plus, that's big. For anyone to do that, it's big. But elites measure it in seconds because it's such a diminishment of variance. Their gains, they're so quality as a runner that their gains are sometimes hard to quantify and measure. So she really outdid herself.
Very impressive. As the runners, too, go past the finish line, Mark, do you want to chime in on what we're watching there on the left-hand side of your screen?
You got it. We got Aaron Scherf leading. He has broken away. I think the last time we saw him, he was running with a mustachioed young man who is not in the marathon. He's certainly a marathoner, Charlie Reichert. He's part of the Oklahoma Coaches Coalition, the group in the relay today that won last year, and they were doing some mileage together. Aaron Scherf now has a bit of a margin, a larger margin seems to go right now to Christy Coleman, who was a runner at Oklahoma University, and again, a mother of three. And for Christy to repeat would really be something. Consistency, mainly when you're talking about staying uninjured, which she has fought off for a while now, is so hard at this level to be able to come back, repeat, because everyone's shooting for you when you just won it. And these are some of her previous and current at times training partners right there. So it's fun, but again, it's important.
So impressive to watch them run for sure. As I was mentioning, as all the runners get past the finish line, they get to go straight into Scissortail Park at the finish line party, and waiting for them, a free Spark hamburger. They cooked up 12,000 Spark hamburgers today. In fact, we smelled them cooking as we were walking in. I was like, ooh, it smells good. At like 3 a.m. they start cooking these hamburgers. And then also for any runners 21 and up, they will get a free beer as well.
The Spark, I think if they said at first it was going to be 10,000 burgers, now we're up to 11,000 Spark burgers.
12,000, that's the last number I heard. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing for sure. And
you
the party
guys
in the park will
break
continue.
away, and maybe you can show them your badge or something.
You'll continue the coverage.
Here. You bring me one.
Badge.
Yeah.
Can I get 2 per badge?
And let me just say, too, the party at Scissortail Park, that is open to the public. So anybody who wants to come down here and just celebrate with the runners, celebrate how far the city has come, go down to Scissortail Park. That'll be going on till about noon today with live entertainment. They have bands there. It's just a fun way to end this wonderful race and this great day.
And this is part of the change that happened about 5 years ago or
Yes.
so, to have this kind of big party when they built Scissortail Park, that this is the perfect spot to end a race like that. There's enough space here, and just people can gather in one space and just kind of celebrate, like you said, how far we've come, but celebrate just the accomplishment there with the run.
It's a pinnacle spot. The first year of transition, Scissortail was not quite completed,
Right.
so finished at Myriad Gardens. It was good, but we were all waiting for this incredible expanse used by so many walkers and runners daily in Oklahoma City. You all know it's right by your studio.
We love
and
it.
it is such a great site. I take the training group over there at times. And one thing about our men's leader, Aaron Scherf, he's got the Dallas BMW victory. That's a big marathon in December under his belt. He's got the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon half victory under his belt, trying to notch the full. And it seems like the theme unfolding today is going to be previous winners returning.
So he knows that he can do it.
Oh, yeah.
He knows
yeah.
he can.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to Robin Marsh at the finish line with our women's winner on the half marathon, Allie Andrews.
Allie, you look great. I can't believe you just ran 13.2 miles.
Thanks. It was pretty tough in the wind that
Was
last
it?
half. Yes, yeah. We had some mental battles there. Yeah.
Were you pleased with your time? It was about 1:15, 1:16?
Yeah.
Hour 16?
Yes, yeah. I'm pleased with that. I don't really have a halftime, so I was just going for whatever I could do.
Are you from Oklahoma? Tell me, where are you from?
I'm from OKC. I've lived here about 5 years, but originally like Killer area.
Okay. Why is the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon so fun to participate in?
I think it's just remembering those who like lost their lives and being able to go out there and like represent for people who can't do it. I think it's so special, and like having this be my home city, that means a lot.
Do you go to school? Do you work? What do you do?
I am in accounting and finance. I work for Light Consulting, and I lead their bookkeeping and accounting services department.
Well, I bet you run a tight ship if you're running a big half marathon like this.
Fast pace, yeah.
Anything you want to say to the people who were cheering you on? What did that mean to you to have all that support along the way?
Yeah, just thank you so much, and know that you're really making a difference to those out there who are like struggling or battling mentally, and it just means a lot. And thanks so much for the support.
What does running do for you mentally?
Honestly, it's provided me with so much. The community I run with has just been so great for my mental, physical, emotional health and well-being, and I'm just thankful. I had surgery in January, and they were really supportive, got me back out there. McBride, shout out. Thank you for the surgery and getting me back up and running as soon as possible.
What happened?
I broke my humerus snowboarding in January, so I was down for 8 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you started training pretty much. Gosh, you didn't give any break there, did you?
No. Hopped right back into it. So
will you run the full next year?
We'll see. I was supposed to go to Boston, but I obviously was down and couldn't train for that, so we'll see. I'm going to Berlin in September.
To run?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, represent Oklahoma with a lot of pride, and know that we'll be cheering for you in Berlin when you do that. Congratulations, Allie Andrews.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, that's a beautiful trophy. Can we just take a good look at that? Wow. First place half marathon. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. I'll take it.
Oh, congratulations, Allie. Bless you. Back to you guys.
That's awesome. I love how innocent she is about this whole running thing, right? She's like, I don't even have a halftime.
I don't know what time should be.
Here
Pretty
she is,
good.
the winner. Oh, and I couldn't because I broke my arm. Here's the scars.
I love it.
Yeah, good for her.
You know what we're getting ready for right now is the wheelchair winner of the marathon is really close to coming through. I mean, maybe within the next minute. And Steve Scalzo, he is the one who's going to win this, and quite the story here of the Oklahoma Standard at play with him.
Absolutely. So Steve Scalzo, his training buddy, I guess, a good friend of his is Glenn Pemberton. And so him and Glenn trained together. Here they are with the hand crank right there. Well, Glenn broke his hand crank chair and he was going to have to drop out. He did this in Boston, broke it,
yeah.
and then he had to drop out of the marathon because he didn't have a chair. And Steve said, "Hey, use one of mine." Got some others, and they were able to get this guy a chair so he could compete today. So Glenn's in the race with Steve.
Isn't that beautiful,
yeah,
too?
that is
Because
the
they are
Oklahoma
really
Standard.
competitors, but then at the heart of it, they're not, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the Oklahoma Standard at play here at the Memorial Marathon.
especially in something like this. I mean, this can't be a large community of athletes, but Steve Scalzo putting the hammer down.
Really is.
Like he did last year, going over those timing bumps. He's the winner once again. Good for him.
Steve Scalzo, our winner, and he beat last year's time. I had last year's time at 1:32, so beat it by just a little bit. Congratulations to him, and what a good heart he has. He's been in the wheelchair hand crank race for the last 8 marathons. He's done quite a few, so he knows what he's doing out here.
Yeah, he's seasoned, and that's a whole other sport. So much similarity in the heart and the hours of training, but when you see that unfold, they were talking about like at Boston, those guys, we've got like an 8-time winner at Boston, and just to think of the gyrations they must go through to get to a start line, altogether different, but the same kind of focus and the same sort of competition goes on, and that Steve would lend a chair to Glenn within the last 2 weeks of the race so he could be here is really something. You said that those 2 words, Oklahoma standard.
Yeah.
We see it in action for sure.
And I'm sure that Steve knew that Glenn was in the race with him. He's like, hey, I'll give you my chair, but they're pushing each other, aren't they? Like,
no question.
He's like, hey, here, you can use it. Don't beat me with
don't
it.
Win.
Don't win. But no, Steve's excited that Glenn got a chance to compete, and so good for them both.
It has been such fun to watch as we continue to watch the runners, the lead men and women's marathon runners, and the crowd. This is so much fun. A look at Gorilla Hill there, one of the great places to watch this race. I do want to make a point, too, just to talk about, we showed the wheelchair winner there. There are some special teams here today when it comes to wheelchair races and push races, one of them being Team Hoyt. So this is a national organization, and what they do is they pair able-bodied runners with those who can't run, maybe in a wheelchair, and they push them so that they can experience the exhilaration of this. Eric Heine is who I met at the expo, and he was telling me about this. He pushes his 17-year-old son, Stephen, and he got this idea to do that because Stephen was coming to his dad's races, and he would light up when the crowd started cheering. So he's like, I would love for him to experience this.
Yeah.
So he actually is out there right now running the marathon with his son, pushing him, and I just can't wait to see his son and them cross the finish line because he is going to just light up with this crowd going crazy behind us.
I talked to one of the competitors of yesterday's 5K who was pushing his son in one of these chairs, and he was part of the Ainsley's
It's
Angels
another
group.
big one.
And he was saying that he really likes the races that are go out and then come back the same way, because when you come back, you see all the people going out, and you see everyone's high-fiving, and there's just such a thrill in seeing the competitors cheer you along. He said yesterday he went out in kind of a crazy pace, like a 6:45 pace, because they're up there with the elite runners.
Yeah.
And so the elite runners will catch the people pushing, but the people pushing are like, well,
I gotta keep moving.
Yeah, I got to keep going. And so all of a sudden they go out to these crazy paces. But congrats to all those that are not only just competing, but also pushing someone along the way, because that is hard to do.
And they recruit new pushers all the time, and I'll tell you what, it's not easy. I'm not saying that from experience, but it is not easy, and they have to train like that. And some of those pushers, Ainsley's Angels, Team Hoyt, Oklahoma, will, if they don't have someone, often they don't, that they're practicing with, they will do such thing as put barbells in the chair. They've got to emulate who they're going to carry.
That makes sense.
But also just to kind of weigh that chair down, because the one I saw yesterday would, like, he said, okay, put some weight on. Like, you're tired, you almost want to put weight on it. Well, it'll start tipping up.
That's true.
And his is like a state-of-the-art chair. I think it was like an 18-pound chair, and he's about to get a new one. I mean, it's a high-tech chair, and it's still kind of still a lot to push for sure.
It is so, it's inspiring to watch on so many different levels. Right now, the winner of the wheelchair race is down with our own Robin Marsh. Let's check in with her. Robin?
Oh, no. Who's getting married?
Steve Scalzo is here with me, the winner of the wheelchair. How you doing, Steve?
I'm pretty tired. It was a tough race. I got stuck in one gear, so kind of wore me out. And then coming down the last stretch, with all those pictures. It's hard.
It's emotional, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, but it was a great race. The fans on the race were just super, cheering all the way. It was wonderful. The wind was kind of bad and the rain, but that slowed me down a little bit this year.
You're from Hera. Your buddy was kind of chasing you there for a little bit during the race.
Yeah, Glenn was chasing me. He's from Texas, and he just finished the Boston. He broke his bike in the Boston Marathon, so he got hooked up with a bike this year, and he was able to get back in it. And we just had a little bit of bad luck out there, but then we got to go again, and things worked out. Just finished the same.
Why is Oklahoma City so special? I know I know we've already talked about it, but it is special, isn't it?
It is special because, well, I'm originally from San Diego. I moved here in 1974, and I just love this place. And then when the bombing happened, everybody just came together. It's just super. And what we put on here, what you put on here, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Will we see you back here next year, Steve?
I hope so. I'm 70 this year, so
You're looking good to me.
I'll be 71, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to try.
Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the victory. Steve Scalzo from Hera, Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Here today.
Thank you. Oh, wait, one more thing. Thank you to the Paralyzed Veterans of America and the VA Hospital and to my wife, Dee Dee Scalzo.
There you go.
Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
His wife actually was a nurse at St. Anthony when the bombing happened, and so she saw a lot downtown, but also than he did living here as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats to Steve
Congrats.
on winning the race. All right, we are back after this, and we'll get back out to Gorilla Hill, where it's pretty
happening.
Pretty exciting out there right now. I'll say something about Gorilla Hill. You go.
And welcome back to the 24th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon Run to Remember. We have some finishers already, and it is a great time to be down here at the finish line, but it's also a great time for all the other runners who are making their way through the course.
That's right. We're going to go back to Gorilla Hill, where it is still crazy. You still got a whole lot of runners coming through there. We have Kobe Thielen and Lisa Monahan once again as the rock bass kicks. Yes.
Come on, Newsman. That's the kind of energy you can expect from everybody that comes down this road today. Every person that comes by, whether you're walking, whether you're running, it doesn't matter. You get that kind of greeting. Come on, let's go.
People are like, there's no option to be quiet out here. It's like a lot of this, a lot of
You can hear from the DJ too. And here's the fun thing is that when we got onto this side of Chartel, a little bit ago, it was almost impossible because so many runners were coming through.
You could not make a pass over to here, but as you can see, they have the 50-foot gorilla up. They've got the arch. They're passing out the bananas. People are having a good time. It's gotten louder and louder as we've been out here.
And guess who we saw? Not only did we see Alex Cameron,
We saw Alex
but we got to run through here with Bobby Miller.
We ran this little stretch with Bobby Miller, giving her that extra push to keep going.
And Lisa, for me today, that will be the only running that I do. But watching the excitement out here, even just for running from that end of the block to that end of the block, we got excited. Wasn't it fun?
It is exciting. I can see how it really inspires you as you're hitting that almost 7-mile mark, how exhausted you must feel to see people cheering you on. And just to run that little stretch with her, I saw her mood get boosted, as we've seen so many. When they see the costumes, when they see all the people out here, it really lifts their spirit to keep going.
People were giving us high fives, and we're like, we're not even doing anything. It was just, that's the environment that they've created. Steve, we talked to earlier, it's been over years and years and years, and he said it's just sort of slowly built itself. And the reason you see this out here is because people keep coming back to it year after year.
Yeah, he said it started with just a few bananas, a couple of banana suits in the beginning, and now I think here today we counted 60 banana suits that he handed out, and now there are just people that, like myself, that come with the banana suit because it's contagious.
Lisa was dogging me. I ditched the gorilla suit. It was so hot, and the fur was getting all matted from the water. It was kind of gross. But we're still having a great time out here, and as you can see, it is still very busy.
Coming through.
Yep, and some of the bananas are offering to pass out, well, not water, beverages for people coming by. I don't know how many have taken them up on it, but it's happening.
A little bit of everything out here at Gorilla Hill. Definitely the party place. It's easy to see why it is a landmark location for the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
Let's ask maybe one of these runners, are you having fun? You're on Gorilla Hill! You're on Gorilla Hill! Please just let me run. Please just let me run. Well, guys, it's a big party out here. If you live here in the Crown Heights area, you still got time. Come on outside. People are going to be hanging out for quite a little while. We'll send it back to you.
Oh, it is so much fun out there. They are at mile 7 right there at Gorilla Hill. Colby and Lisa, you guys are wonderful. I know the official beverage that they pass out at these water stops, obviously water and Powerade. They have pickle juice. Some of the stops will have the goo that you can have. And then you have some unofficial beverages as well throughout.
And the unofficial beverages, they may have come out like last night around midnight, especially at Gorilla Hill for, to just get everyone ready to set up there. We're going to check in. We're going to check in with, I think, David Payne now, who's watching our runners on the men's side, full marathon. David, give us an update on who's in front.
Well, there's been some breaking news. Aaron lost his hat about half an hour ago. So that's the big deal with Aaron. He is still in the lead, talking about Aaron Scherf here, and he's moving on. I can still see, if I look back there, I can still see Corey Larson is still visible. And if we look even farther, Carson Sandvik is even visible as well. But obviously, about probably 30 minutes ago, Aaron kind of began to pull away. And you can hear the crowds here around me. Everyone's look at all the people here. I mean, we're moving through Nichols Hills right here, and everyone's so excited. I love everybody all dressed up, and just so much fun. It's just a family thing. That's what I love about this. It's so cool because truly, I mean, we go through some neighborhoods and it's just full of people, full of kids. I mean, people are out front. I mean, they're playing music. It's just awesome. If you guys could see what we're seeing every minute, every house, every block. But anyway, it's really cool to see. But here's the deal. So Aaron's still in front. He's had a couple of water breaks. He lost his hat, and this guy's moving. It doesn't look like he's slowed down much. I think he's still on a pretty good pace, and but you can see behind him, Corey Larson is behind him a couple hundred yards, and then way back there, still visible, is going to be Carson Sandvik. But right now we're moving through Nichols Hills right here. So, again, all is good. The weather's good. We have a south wind. And, when we turn into the wind, a little bit breezy at a headwind, but temperatures are in the 60s, nice and cool. But earlier, the water sprinklers, you can see this right here in our live shot. Water sprinklers were on, and they kind of went into the street like this one's going to do. And Aaron just kind of leaned into it like, oh, I'm going to take a quick shower for about 10 seconds. And I think he enjoyed the cold water. But he's cruising. He hasn't said anything. He's by himself at this point. He's not said anything. And to any of the bikers around him, any of his riders next to him, he's just been all business all day. Earlier, he was talking to the guys when they were around him, and they're buzzed. They know each other. But outside of that, he's all business. He's by himself, and man, he's cruising, guys. He is still cruising, looking good. And unless something dramatic happens here, he's well on his way. He's well on his way. But you can look back. You can see Corey. Like I said, Corey's right there, just a couple hundred yards behind him. So this is surely not over with. Not over with by any means. So, guys, we're here. We're live. The weather's good. And, man, what a great day. What an exciting day. So fun to be out here. Guys, back to you.
Hey, David, just the runner behind Aaron there, just who's that there in second place on that shot? I'm trying to get the bib jersey there.
So bib, if it's green, it's full. If it's yellow, it's half. Red, relay. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, well, here's the deal. We're zooming in. I can't tell. Can you guys hear me?
Well, okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Is that the coaches? Is he a member of the relay
I
team?
think that's the Oklahoma coaches.
Yeah, that's the relay team.
That's the jersey, indeed.
We could talk about that for a second because they are really good.
They're super fast, but I'm wondering, just mentally, what does that do? Does he know? I mean, he's got to know right away. Like that's not my competitor right now. That's not second place.
Yeah,
right?
he somehow was either told such or he simply knows he is the jersey. Sometimes even the participant will say, "I'm relay. Don't worry," and they should have their relay bib on their back.
And he's got it. Well, who he's with, the Coaches Challenge. They won last year. It was a group of instructors
and coaches.
Some coaches, and So anyway, it looks like they're probably going to take it again, which wouldn't surprise anyone. We have another competitor at the finish line with Robin Marsh, who is an Oklahoman, but she's an ultra marathoner who's known throughout the world, not just the nation, throughout the world. Camille Herron.
Yes, incredible runner. Let's go ahead and check in with Robin Marsh down at the finish line. Hi, Robin.
Hi guys, I'm with Camille Herron. I mean, running royalty in the house here in OKC. She's from Oklahoma. How did it feel running the half marathon today?
That was the most fun I've ever had at a race. I mean, the community just really gets out here and supports it, and yeah, I had a good time out there. I joke that what happens in Oklahoma City stays in Oklahoma City.
Well, you're from Oklahoma, but really known around the world, and when they said, "Oh, Camille just crossed," I was like, I'm so starstruck. I follow you on social media, and you're running literally around the world. And Camille has 2 world records. She just broke one of the world records for running in March. What was that feat? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I broke 12 world records for 6 days. I ran 560 miles in 6 days, and the world record was 33 years old, so it was a very historical moment.
And then what's the longest you've run in like a 24-hour? You broke the world record for running the longest in 24 hours, right?
Yeah, I have the 24-hour world record, which is 167 miles.
That's kind of like Carl Torp pace, I think. You know, like Carl, you can run like 167 miles, right? I mean, oh my gosh. What is it about running that you love so much? Because this has to be something you absolutely love.
Yeah, I think I'm just born for it. I mean, I grew up running around the wheat fields near Guthrie, and I love the wildlife. I love being outside, and when we lived in Oklahoma City, I joked that I probably knew every crack at Lake Hefner.
Yeah, that's a good course around Lake Hefner. You can get a good 10 miles in. Tell me, back in 1995, when the bombing happened, what were you doing that day?
Yeah, so I started running in 1995, and we had a track meet in Putnam City, and we were in the gym about to go to the track meet when we heard about the bombing, and so we were just in shock that day. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's the resilience of the community is amazing. I mean, you know, what's happened since then. I feel like it's, you know, it's really like brought like this vibrance to the community, and it's awesome to come back.
What does it mean to you to run Oklahoma City? Because you run around the world. How special is it here, Camille?
Yeah, everybody knows me. I mean, I was out there slapping high fives and having a good time, and everybody's cheering me on. And I mean, it's my hometown race, and I know my parents, Jack and Susan, are watching at home, and yeah, they're proud of me.
Oh, well, we're proud of you, and it's an honor to get to meet you. And we called her mom, and she was already watching, so shout out to Mom and Dad watching. What's next for you, Camille?
Oh, man. This is my first race back since a 6-day race, so I'm just trying to get back in shape right now. But I'll probably be going for more world records here soon.
You have 14, is that right?
Geez, I think like 24.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Well, you better get in shape for the next one. I mean, like Camille, you know. I'm like, girl, I don't know how you could do any better, but we're cheering from you from home always.
Thank you.
And you're in our heart all the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support from my home state.
That's good. All right, Camille Herron, I mean, how great is it to have her back home, guys? I know Mark loves talking about all her accomplishments as well. Amanda and Carl.
What an impressive feat right there. I mean, she ran the half like it was just kind of a morning run before breakfast, and I don't think it'd be surprising any of us if she was back out here tonight. Just like, you know, 13.1 wasn't enough.
A fun run.
I'm gonna go get 20 more after dinner tonight. That's amazing what she does.
Most of her days are 2-a-days. I said, "Are you 7 days a week?" She said, "Really? My off day would largely consist of one run a day."
Okay.
Everything is programmed around her.
That's
her,
amazing.
Her chef, her schedule maker, her prompter, her coach, all of those are one Connor Holt, her husband, by the way, who still holds the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon best time and will continue today at 2:22. That was 20 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. So
incredible.
Back to Camille. Just what was her latest record? How many miles? How many days? And it wasn't that long ago. And this is like her first run since then. So break that down, Mark.
560 miles in 6 days. 93-ish miles a day. And that record of 167 miles in 24 hours always boggled me, as just about everything she does on the roads does. And she said that my body, leg-wise, and what you'd conventionally think of when you're talking about a runner, is really pretty good. My internal organs, I am having to massage my way through these weeks because she said, and in a safe way, that what they told her, and she is a chemist, a scientist, used to work in a lab, was basically midway deeply into that 6-day foray, her organs were shutting down. So what happened then was everything was rushing to her legs, what was needed to keep going, and so all the blood, and so the organs were not getting nourished or what they needed, but she was doing some self-monitoring, and I think some other monitoring to know we were not in harm's way, especially for a superhuman person. And she has this was pretty much her first foray back to the roads today.
Well, it was good to see her for sure.
Absolutely.
One of the storylines unfolding right now is in the women's marathon. We got a back and forth going on. Let's go straight out to Lacey Swope, who is following the lead women's runner for the marathon. Lacey?
Hey guys, we just passed mile marker 18 and we have had a change here. So just about 45 minutes ago, this was all about Christy Coleman and Ashley Carrion. Now it's Christy Coleman and Catherine Lyle. And so Christy and Catherine have been running right next to each other for the past 30 minutes or so, and I haven't been able to see Ashley, who's in third place. She's got to be a couple hundred yards back behind, and there hasn't really been a lead change between the two of them. Whenever Catherine came up to Christy, they had some words, they smiled, and they just kind of been running right next to each other ever since, and it has been fascinating to watch. So we'll see how this plays out as we get, several more miles down the track here. One thing to note, it was the sweetest thing. We come around the corner just before we got to 18 miles, and Catherine's family was on the corner cheering her on. I believe those were her kids. I think I heard them saying, "Go, Mom, go," and she had the biggest smile on her face. In the meantime, Christy's husband is on a bike, and every now and again he gets down the track. He smiles at her, asks her if she's good. She says, "I'm good," and he cheers her on. So they've got their cheerleaders out here, and so far, these mamas, I don't see anyone near them at the moment. So Christy Coleman and Catherine Lyle, those are the two leads right now, the female leads. And we are 18 miles in as we speak. Coming up to some more cheerleaders here. Something to note for folks that are watching this morning, if you're like me and you're not a runner and you've never done it, one thing that is really cool to watch these women, about every 5 or 6 miles or so, in their short pockets, they have some pouches of gel that they take out. They suck that down. They stop and get the water every single time. They've been switching. Watch them here. I don't know what this is about. Maybe Mark knows. But after they're not going to do it this time. But the two of them have been switching their cups. I don't know why they did it, but they did. And Catherine will take the water and kind of splash it on her face every single time and put some on her. She'll take her hat off and kind of put it down on herself to cool herself off. Christy hasn't done that at all. Christy takes a couple sips of water and she's right back at it. So right now they've just been completely in line with each other. We'll see, someone's going to win this, and we don't know who that's going to be yet. But right now, the third place now is Ashley. and she was in second place. Still can't see her. So it's the two of them right now, guys. 18 and a half miles in, and you can see Christy taking that out of her pocket right now. We'll see, just so you can watch. It's fascinating to me while she's running at a marathon pace, gets her snack, and she's good to go. So they're looking rock solid, guys. As David mentioned, the temps are still pretty chilly, but they're loving it right now. The weather's good. You guys doing good? They're doing good. They're doing great, guys. Back to you.
It'll be fun to see when that breakaway happens, too,
in
this race.
Yeah, I mean, and Kat Lyle's used to this, by the way. She's been to two, photo finishes here, which is amazing after 26.2 miles. Two mothers of three that you're watching right there. They each have 3 kids, and so we'll see how this all unfolds. But we also have a change in the lead on the men's side as well.
This is big. Let's check in with David Payne, who is following the lead men's marathon runners. David?
All right, guys, here's the deal. We did this last year, almost at the same place, and we're doing it again this year. We had a lead change, and Aaron Scherf, back by Classen Curve, on Classen Curve, by the restaurants and the stores back there, basically fell behind, and Corey passed him and just went right around him. And look at the lead now. And you can see just by looking at them physically, at this point, Aaron is running a little bit tired to me. He's just a little bit slower. He just started to back off a little bit. And what was weird, and Bravo can contest to this, it was like he had slowed down some, and then right when he didn't see Corey, he'd never looked back. He did not see Corey. And when Corey went around him, it's like his demeanor changed, his body changed a little bit, and he slowed down even more. And now look how far back he is. And this just happened about 5 minutes ago. So within 5 minutes, he's gone from being this much of a leader now to being this far behind at this point. So our new leader now is Corey Larson, and we're now crossing Northwest Expressway and coming down Classen. And you can still see in the background there is Aaron. But, man, it's like what happened last year when we had the changeover. And I talked with Mark about this after the event last year, after the marathon, and I said, what happens? I mean, do you try to get it back? And he was like, man, it's mentally. I mean, sometimes it's deflating, right? You're in the lead. You don't see him coming up on you. You haven't seen him for 30, 45 minutes, and next thing you know, he started to pick it up. And so our new leader is Corey Larson now. And at this minute, Aaron just keeps falling farther and farther and farther behind. So we have a big leader now, at least for now, and it's Corey Larson, guys. So here we go. Back to you all.
So this is different than last year's change in the league when Al Mayer just blew past the leader at the time. This is something that Aaron kind of has fallen off the pace here, and Aaron and Corey's in the lead now. What do we know about Corey? He's an older runner, correct?
Yes, he's in the hunt for the Masters Championship too, meaning 40 and over. Aaron is, I think, 32. They are dear friends, very close training partners. What we talked about earlier, Corey made a very decisive move to this, as David just so aptly put it, to get this kind of margin inside of 3 minutes of running for two elite runners is big right now. I expect Aaron to collect himself mentally. I don't know if that'll translate to making it a closer race, but Aaron's not finished.
So what do you think happened to Aaron? You think
I think what happened to Aaron is exactly what David said. It really seemed to take the wind out of him when a guy blew by him. Corey did it with authority, and somehow I don't think Aaron's finished. They know each other well, but Corey is methodical, and who knows? This is a big margin to happen in this short a period of time.
Right now we're watching the leader in the relay, which is that coaches collective team. It's super impressive. You got Jim Schott right there from the air. So Corey and Aaron are training buddies.
He did great. They are. They are.
Mark's mentioning
Oh.
How about
Nick,
it?
Amanda's
I've been over
husband.
here cheering, not necessarily for what you're watching on the screen, but my husband is running the half marathon, and he just finished, and I am so proud of him. It is very much a family affair for News 9. In fact, we have 40 runners who work for News 9 or are family members running in the Run to Remember. It is special for many different reasons. It was his first time last year, and he came back, and that's what so many runners do with this race. If they do it once, they are coming back.
It speaks to kind of how addictive running can get. I know you mentioned his first race last year. He wanted to come back, and I know he had a goal. He had a goal of being under 2 hours.
And he definitely did that. So I can't wait
really
to cheer
come
him
along.
on. Yes, he has done great. So he's making his way to the finish line to get one of those 12,000 Spark burgers they have cooking up, and probably a beer as well. So proud of him as we continue to watch the lead runners and also the lead relay runners as well in the marathon.
This relay group's impressive. I don't know if it's the same group of guys. I don't think so. There might be
one different.
One different.
I know Charlie Reichert's there. I know Alex Cox. I know Carson Moon. I'm not sure of the other two right now.
Was the winner of the half last year, Leahy? Was he part of that group? And he was able to run like a couple of the legs.
Indeed.
Okay.
He then turned it over. You can be in both. You must register for both races. But he was part of that group as well, Andrew.
Okay.
Well, as we watch the relay and as we continue to follow all of the runners running through 25 Oklahoma City neighborhoods through these courses, we're going to take a quick short break and be back with more of these storylines as they unfold. And welcome back to the Run to Remember, the 24th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. One great thing about this race is if you've done it once, you're really pretty likely to come back. In fact, the very first marathon winner ever for this race is back today.
So in 2001 was the first year of this race. They had 5,000 participants. Peter Euler, he is from Kansas. He won the event. He said that he had this kind of runaway lead, and then he just kind of held on to the end. He got it done. He won. He's back here today running the half, and he's about to finish the half. So congrats to Peter Euler.
We are so glad he came back from Kansas to experience this race once again. Another big area that's a lot of fun to go to is the Asian District. And a lot of people will go there to cheer the crowd on, and that's where our Tevis Hillis is right now with one of our own runners as well. Let's check in with Tevis.
Amanda, Carl, good morning. I'm with Alex Cameron, our Washington Bureau Chief. Alex, nothing like running and then coming to work.
I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, this event is so special. You know, it was easy to get me to come back here because I knew this was going on, and I just wouldn't miss this for anything.
Right, we're so fortunate to have you back running today. Tell me, how was the 6 miles you ran?
Well, it was not easy. And I feel bad because I should be able to run 6 miles, but it was very humid. But you know, I just said I'm going to do this. I tried to train for it, and I made it. And you know, I'm part of a Griffin team, and so go team. I'm going to try and run across the finish line with him, but it was fun. It was great. There's so many great people out here. It's inspirational. You should do it sometime.
Oh no!
Yes,
oh
you
my
should.
gosh!
Just to be at the start line, to be there for the 168 seconds of silence.
That's
I mean, yeah.
That's really impactful. Last week I got to cover the remembrance ceremony, and that's just amazing to feel that and to see it happen. I don't know if I'm ready for 6 miles quite yet, but Alex, good for you. You guys, you have a really nice place to practice in D.C. Anything happening that we need to know about today?
Well,
let me just put you on the spot. Do we have any news?
No, I think, you know, Congress they got some stuff done last week, so they're going to come back. We'll see. There's a lot going on there, but I'm trying to forget about that for right now and enjoy this. I want to tell you, the support out on the course is amazing, and that's another thing that makes this such a special event. So many people come out and support you, and I love it. And I'm so, so glad that News 9 is broadcasting this. This is where it should be. It's awesome.
We have 40 participants, whether that's family members or News 9ers, participating in this weekend. It's so cool to see. And I want to talk about the participation and seeing so many people come through. Just right behind us, we have Paycom Center, who's giving out pretzels, who's giving out water, who's just out here to have a good time and support our runners. I do want to let you all know, we did just see David Payne, who's following the men's marathon leader. They just passed just a few moments ago. We are waiting to see Lacey Swope, who's following the women's marathon leader. So we've got a lot going on out here.
We're in a good spot right here.
Hey, now we do have the lion dancers that are down there. I don't know if Alex and I are ready for that, but
I'm not sure if we are, but there's some good music here, so we might break out and dance here pretty soon.
Okay, guys, watch out. Our Washington Bureau Chief might be dancing soon. Here we go.
No, we never know. You don't really want to see that, though.
Hey, we might. We'll see. All right, we'll toss it back to Amanda and Carl.
Congratulations, Alex, for taking part in that. And one of the great things about the relay is that they can go anybody. Oh, I'm hearing David Payne. Before I talk any more about the relay and the fun things about that, let's go ahead and talk to him.
He's with the leaders on the men's side of the full marathon. David, what do you have?
Well, here's the deal. The water stations are running out of water, so the biker that's with him, you can see him in our shot, he came up next to us and he goes, he needs water. There's not any. And then so he went ahead of us and went to a station, grabbed water, turned around, and then drove back and rode back to him, then handed him some water, and he drank that. But again, Corey ran over to a couple of water stations, and they were out of water. And he kind of went through the crowd. He went into the crowd on the right to try to get some water, and there wasn't any, so then he just kept going. So anyway, just kind of interesting here. But then, like I said, the biker, the rider here on the bike, grabbed some water, rode it back to him, and handed it to him, and he's doing fine now. I can't even see looking at the latest here. It looks like Carson. Let's see the last check. Carson was coming in right behind, and Carson is. Let me start over. I'm putting these together. Larson is now the number 2, and he's back there. We can see him a little bit ago, but now we've lost him. Just a sea of incredible runners here. You can see everybody, and everyone's having a great time. All the people to the right, I mean, that's everybody else, right? And they're cheering, they're cheering him on, and they're just having a good time. But he is southbound and down. He's running into the wind. He's had his water. He's running into the wind, but he still looks pretty good. To me, he hasn't slowed down any. He's exactly what he was earlier. And I wanted to touch base with Bravo about when he made the pass back there. Bravo talking about the mental part of that. He had the whole street. He's on Classen. It's like 4 lanes of highway wide, right? So instead of going like on the other side or way left of him by like 5 feet or 10 feet, he went right around him by like 2 feet. I mean, it was like, I'm gonna pass you. I'm gonna pass you close, and you're gonna know that I'm gonna pass you. And you're going to feel me go by. It was kind of one of those things when he did it back there, and I'm not kidding you. And that's when the wheels came off, and look at where he is now. So I don't know. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing for sure. But anyway, he's kind of doing a little more. You can see him kind of loosen up there, a little bit of shaking with his arms, but he's still the same pace. He looks good, and not saying anything. He's been pretty quiet. He's sometimes they'll wave to us or anything like that in the past, and I'm getting nothing out of him. He's all business, and he's southbound and down right now, going down Classen. Guys, back to you.
All right, David Payne with the leader, Corey Larson. We're kind of watching the data come in, and we're still seeing Aaron Scherf's name there, but you can see the shot right here. David, just a quick question for you, if we could. How far back do you think Scherf is? Just because it's showing us that he's in the lead still, and I just want to make sure that we have it all correct. We're seeing Larson in the lead, but where is Scherf?
Scherf and Sandvik.
Scherf and Sandvik. How far back, David, do you think Scherf and Sandvik are?
Okay, we looked back. We thought we saw Sandvik make and pass Scherf. We weren't for sure, but I can't even see. I can see a country mile right now, and I can see all the way while we're turning, but I don't even see either one of the other 2 guys. I don't see Scherf, and I don't see Sandvik. I don't know. We thought that at one point we were looking, it looked like, because the app, what we're tracking with, is it's not always exactly 100% with the number 2 and 3, especially when they're that far back. But we thought that we could see Sandvik actually, Larson. Let me start over here. Sandvik a little bit closer, at least visible, and now he's not even visible. So all we can see now is Larson, and he's right here. And again, he is moving. He's burning it. He's burning pavement right now. It's not slowed down at all. Not slowed down at all.
One of the changes this year is also bringing in more splits, so you have more timing splits. You can kind of get a better idea of where the runners are and how fast they're going.
Those are the sensors that pick up on the runner's chips. And so those are about every 5 kilometers. Is that right, Mark Bravo?
Yes, a little bit less than that. But, yeah, they have made them very close. Something like that now.
So it looked like Larson just went off of Klassen. Klassen is always the toughest part on this race, I think, just because the organizers try to get people there to Klassen because they know that's when the runners really need it on that stretch of Klassen right there.
Slightly uphill a little bit.
Yeah, and I think even when people debate that, like if you're going like, no, it is, but it very much feels uphill. And people, no, it's actually not. I'm like,
it's not uphill when you're driving. It definitely undulates when you're afoot.
Okay.
But I think it's the wind also. You're getting that south wind.
That south wind today.
That's cutting through.
Vital.
Yeah, and it's really windy today. It's cold today. It's actually a lot different than the race that I think that we thought we were going to see, that it was going to be kind of a beat the heat style. And that's not the case right now.
All week long, that was the talk. These last 2 weeks, what you want to do, sometimes easier said than done. You prepare for everything, but you cannot harp on what might be because we never know. The best professionals can't prognosticate every hour of weather. More the theme was, how do we fight the heat? Because in distance, the heat is your biggest pressure.
But this,
and humidity, as we spoke a couple hours earlier.
It is humid.
Yeah, and that's still a thing. But the wind in their face now, but you work on getting it out of your mindset. You kind of try in the wind, a lot of folks, to turn yourself into something of an assembly line. Everything the same, kind of as you fight hills. You want everything to look the same. It gets you in a rhythm, sometimes in a zen spot where you can almost detach from the body. And you have little tricks. Up hills, you actually want to turn your turnover over, and against a wind, you want everything the same. Might translate a little less fast, but consistency. The cruise control in the car uses less gas.
Okay, you're in your zone. For sure.
I like this. We have a guru up here giving us our Zen moment of the day right here. Mark, thank you.
I can fake it.
If you want the party of the day, you know the place you have to be. Of course, it's off Chartel around Northwest 50th, and that's where we find our Colby Thielen and Lisa Monahan at Gorilla Hill for the party that's been going on probably since last night. Guys?
Hey guys, most of the runners obviously have cleared. Right now, a lot of walkers are coming through. The crowds have diminished a bit, but what hasn't changed is the energy level out here and the noise. In fact, I've been trying to talk to Lisa. I can't even hear her right now. That's the problem that we've been facing.
Well, Colby, how about I just call you on my banana phone? Ring, ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Yellow.
Yellow.
Lisa, I have a question. Is there anywhere better to watch this race than right here at Gorilla Hill?
No way. This is the most appealing place to be, Colby.
What's the one message we've been hearing as all these runners cross? Coming right from the DJ booth.
Be very, very careful. Welcome to Gorilla Hill. We've heard that quite a bit out here today.
There is a reason that so many runners, we can put these down now.
Yes, okay. I'm hanging up. All right, we're here.
There's a reason that so many runners and spectators love this spot. They keep coming back year after year because there is an energy. In fact, I don't think this party's dying down anytime soon.
No, we've seen a few people thin out, but those that have left, the others are just really making up for it. There's a lot of energy. DJ is still going strong, as we said. We've heard Welcome to Gorilla Hill probably 10 times, and I thought about that. Every time another group comes through, he says it.
Yeah.
Everybody goes wild.
And they love it too. And I think the one part about it that we love and we've seen is the people in these banana suits that actually helped set this place up in the rain this morning, they're still here. Guess what? They didn't go to bed last night.
No, they've been up all night long. Everyone's going wild. He was in a gorilla suit earlier today. That's about as wild as it gets, right?
But you know what? The one thing everybody tells us, Amanda Taylor, Many, many
Look at
compliments
these.
on our banana necklaces
She
that
made
Amanda made for us. Everybody loves them. Many, many compliments. I think you can start an Etsy page by now.
Yes. She probably already has, by the way.
What do you think,
we're having
Amanda,
a
an
great
Etsy
time out
page?
here. Folks are having a great. We still have people coming through, walkers coming through. I have a pretty good idea that the party will stay going until the last people go through.
Absolutely. We're going to be out here until then. We'll send it back to you for now.
I don't think there's much of a market for those necklaces, but I'm glad you guys enjoy them.
Save them for next year,
Yeah.
no doubt. All right.
We're
Thank
getting
you.
really close to some finishes out here at the finish line. Is it the relay race that we're getting really close at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Oklahoma Coaches Collective.
Oklahoma's Coaches
Yes.
Collective. And they're super fast. I mean, who are these guys? These guys are just elite runners. They get together like, hey, do you want to win this thing again next year? Yeah.
And just plug
so-
another in. Andrew didn't come this year. I know Charlie, Alex, and Carson are in there. I'm not sure of who else.
Yeah, well, these guys are impressive. We saw them pass the leader of the men's full along the way, and then we're thinking, oh, there's a change lead. No, this is the relay team, and so these guys are impressive and won it last year, and looks like they're going to win it again this year.
And a really good race unfolding in the on the women's side of things. They have been up and back, exchanging the lead only by 3 to 5 steps at times, but Kat's back now. As you mentioned, Kat had the 2 photo finishes, and one year it was very clear to see she was running against a first-time marathoner, and the youngster carried it out for she probably led 22 of the miles, and then in the final mile, Kat was measuring. It's very hard, as we've seen today, to run from the front, and it's even harder when you've been caught to run not from the front. Mentally, we talked about that, but these two are in it for the duration. Looks like this is Corey's race. Really impressive. The pace looking like about 2:28-ish, and the women, I think they do it all the way. Kat actually, by a few more steps, is pulling away now.
We're also getting close on the men's marathon winner. David Payne, he was following them. He has to end up pulling off for that final stretch of the race as they go down the home stretch here at the Memorial Marathon.
Yeah, how do you think he's looking out there in the lead here, Mark? 'Cause I know that he was kind of maybe moving a lot more his hands and kind of just making sure he's still kind of staying loose in the upper body as he's going.
And you've seen him doing that some 13 miles. He is running with his form. Nothing is broken down, and everything is much the same as it's been. You can't ask for more than that. He's got the posture. Everyone's got a different running form, but his is loose, and he lets his arms go a little more than most people, which is just great that he is emulating what he normally does. You couldn't ask for a better performance right now. And he's got 2 kilometers left. He just crossed the 40K mark. 2 kilometers basically are going to work out to probably 6:45. If that's the case, we're looking at high 2:30.
And on the women's side, it looks like Kat Lyle might be making a little bit of a move here, creating some distance between her and Christy Coleman there.
Yes, that's the biggest distance Kat has had, and she is really a veteran. Took some marathon years off to build their family, and she's been after it, and I know some neighbors, and she's been training hard. I actually haven't talked to she or her husband Stuart in a little while, but she's always understated, such a demure runner, and never wants the attention to herself. But this would be a 5-time victory in the Oklahoma City full.
5-time victory. Incredible.
She's got 2 runners up too, I believe. So she's a competitor. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's obviously experienced, and how much? I mean, we have 2 experienced female competitors here for the full marathon, kind of dueling down the stretch here. How much does that experience play a role when you're running the marathon? Because I think that most of us just think, oh, we're just going to go out and just kind of give it all we got, and what do we have in the tank is what we're going to do. But there's definitely some mind games going on, and there's a lot of mental game strategery, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, it means a lot. Christy has really elevated her game these last years from always being an elite runner. It's been great to see Kat established, more experience in the marathon, but Christy's a savvied marathoner. Kat always runs her own race. I think she measures the competition in that year she was running against a first-time marathoner. I think she was smart enough to let her do the work. You still got to do the work, but to be in the lead, it's tough to carry that, especially if you've not done it a number of times. And this isn't breaking Christy mentally, but it may be hard to sing. Inevitably, Kat, hard mentally, pull away slightly more and slightly more.
And then on the right-hand side of your screen from Jim Gardner's shot up in Bob Mills Sky News 9, that is the relay team right there, the final leg of the relay team. And chances are we will see some of his teammates join him to cross the finish line. You think that's what we'll see today, Mark?
Probably a good chance. That's Alex, and we'll see who's wherever they are. I think they're already having fun at the finish, but they will probably escort him.
That's one of the great things I was starting to say earlier on with the relay is after you run your leg, they have a section that all the runners can wait in toward the end, and then as your runner in your final leg is getting close, they let you back onto the course so you can all run across together no matter what leg you ran, and you can get a medal together.
That's a special moment, and I remember when I ran the relay not thinking, okay, I guess I'll try to fight traffic and get back down there, and I'm so glad I did, because it is special to kind of cross with your team, and just it's fun to cross the finish line, right? I mean, that's one thing about running the relay is that you're handing it off and then you're kind of done. But here, no, you just have to get to that spot and you get to do it together. It's a fun moment for sure.
Another person that we're tracking with a relay just for fun is our very own Bobby Miller. She is running the relay with her boys. They right now are at the 13.8 mile mark, so they got a little ways to go, but what a fun experience to do this with your family.
It's kind of amazing because when she was telling me about her kids running, it was almost like I didn't believe her when she's like, he's going to run a what? He's like her kids got into running, and I swear the next day they were doing half marathons, full marathons,
trail marathons.
It's like, I don't think it works like this. This is great. And her kids are active. I think her high schooler is a swimmer, former swimmer. So he's kind of he merits it like an endurance athlete, and then Marshall as well is out there.
Is more of a youngster.
Yeah. See, here's what we're talking about. They've all gathered down.
Join them. Yes.
That's a fast team.
And that is something that used to be frowned on by marathons. Don't find your teammates. That can cause a lot of confusion, maybe even a safety issue. But another thing Oklahoma City does so well, actually, as you said, made a corral of sorts for them to be able to gather. It's more orderly, it's safer, and much better chance you find your teammate. No problem these guys find their teammate because they're so far ahead.
Plus, what a moment that they can experience going through the finish line all together when all of them put in such hard work with the training and getting to this point today.
I'd almost think they're kind of racing against the clock, right? They just kind of have a time that they want to beat, and maybe they get there, maybe they don't, but here they are finishing together. Pretty good moment here at Oklahoma Coaches Collective.
There you go. I think they want to win first, and then let's see what we can do and run with your buddies. And people ask, what legs should I run? If we haven't gone into it, the 5-person relay is 10K, 5K, 12K, 7.5 miles, 5K, 10K. And I tell people, if you can experience the start, do it, and not lose any friends, claiming the first spot, and then come on back for the finish.
Bobby Miller is not only doing the first, but also the second, too.
Yes.
So, I mean, why stop at one?
When you have that many ringers on your team, like this team that just won, is it even fun? I'm kidding.
They look like they're having a good time, I'm sure.
I've never been a ringer, so...
We'll have to hear it straight from them when we talk to Robin Marsh. She's getting ready to talk to them momentarily. But here's the men's leader coming down the stretch on the right-hand side of your screen. How exciting.
And it looks like it is going to be right at that high 2:30s. He has kept it going. Corey Larson is going to be your 2024 Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon winner.
This is impressive. This is someone who's over 40 years old.
Yes.
And you had him as kind of the first in the Masters category, which is over 40, but here he is winning the whole thing.
And he's been close to Aaron on a few occasions, and he took it out when he made that decisive move. Congratulations to Corey Larson. He's going to have so much hardware with the Masters victory. I'll tell you that first place cup. Mike Ketcherside at MTM gave me one if I want to bring it up here. Yeah. It's 40 pounds. I'm not carrying it from the hotel. I'm sorry. I wish I could have, but I'm not
it's
who
beautiful,
I used
though.
to be.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You saw it in Allie's hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do it right here.
What a moment. What's Corey's past here? How has he done in the past?
I don't honestly know what his finishes have been.
He's never won it, though.
He has not won it, and he's got great finishes at Dallas and other places. But this is going to be a marquee credit to him that he'll never forget. When you take the victory, it's altogether different, even if he ran faster in Dallas
Here
that
he comes.
day.
Corey Larson, your winner on the men's side.
Big time.
What an unbelievable moment for him. Oh, we love that celebration.
Good for him. Wow. What a moment to cross first here in Oklahoma City.
Everybody's cheering behind us, too, here at the finish line.
Corey's from Norman, never won this race before, and here he is, champion.
And it will be emotional for him. He's another one who is very understated. He's a humble guy, and you love to see that in a literal world-class athlete.
I feel like we had a bunch of names written down on the female side for the full, and not as many on the men's side. Seemed a little more wide open.
We weren't as sure of what was going to happen.
Indeed. I thought Aaron was the favorite per their times, but now look. Cat's opened up close to a block lead.
Wow. Yeah, this is two experienced runners. Again, two mothers of three here in Christy Coleman and Kat Lyle. Kat's won this race 4 times, going for title number 5. She's been runner-up twice. She's a former high school English teacher, and she just knows how to win races. She's had 2 photo finishes, and she's come out on top in both those.
Yes. And there were really 4 I thought were in the hunt. We've seen 3 of them. Christy Coleman, Ashley carry on. Here's Kat Lyle. And Mikhail, last year's winner and the course record holder, was going to be in the hunt. I thought maybe, but she also said that her training coming off an injury, she had no expectations like last year.
And which runner was this? I'm sorry.
This is Mikhail.
Oh, Mikhail. Yeah.
Mikhail Montgomery.
Yeah.
So now they're running through the Mesta Park Heritage Hills area. Do we know what mile they're on now? I just want to check because we can tell about how far out she is. Of course, going through the Heritage Hills area. Mile 24,
Mile
yes.
24, okay.
So this is one of the Oklahoma City's oldest neighborhoods. So it's really a scenic part of the race. And she has to know she is getting so close to that finish line.
I think mentally just getting off of Klassen it would be kind of a big-time boost, just getting back into the neighborhood. I think it feels, even though it's at the end, it feels good to be there. You know the finish line's close. Mark, when's the last time she won? When the last time Kat won? Because it's been a moment. I thought it was like 2016-ish or something like that.
Yes. She spread her 4 victories over about 8 years, so it was really something. When you see this kind of longevity, and now back to the plate, her first victory, I think, may have been 2012. I'm sorry, it eludes me right now. But she is always a factor when she is able to be here. And again, having 3 children between these last 2 competitions in the full marathon, we appreciate that she returns. It means that much.
We'll check in with how the races are going, but we do want to check in with Robin Marsh, who has the relay team that won now. Robin.
All right, guys, we are here with the relay
Coaches Collective. Tell me your names real quick.
Yeah, Charles Reichert, Zach Colson, Carson Moon, Alex Davis,
Andrew Clayton.
How does it feel to win?
It feels amazing. We went to battle today. It's always fun to run in the city that we love with people we love cheering us on. So it was fun more than anything. I know this guy had the hardest leg though, so he worked the hardest. So.
How was that last leg?
It was brutal, but this year it was very much we feel like we earned this. Fought for it. There was a question if we were going to be ahead of the individual winner, and we did. It was just really hard to fight down that wind on Classen, but
You guys are all coaches of young runners. What does that mean to be a coach and inspire another generation?
I mean, we want to show, kind of like we said last year, that it doesn't end when you graduate high school or college, that you can continue to train at a high level. We want to kind of live by example, right, and practice what we preach. So we're really proud to continue to do that, and I'm lucky to have these guys to train with and race with.
Oh, that's wonderful. What does it mean to run in your hometown in Oklahoma City, the marathon here?
It just shows that this community is great for what we're running for today. It means a lot, and I love to show up. I mean, it was bad weather this morning, and there was a great support out there, so cheering people on. So I love the running community. It's phenomenal.
What's it like running in Gorilla Hill?
I didn't run Gorilla Hill. He did.
You ran
I
Gorilla
did.
Hill. What was that like?
I did not like that at all. That's a terrible way to start a leg.
But you love the people there.
I did love the people. They're so encouraging. They're really loud, so it kind of pushes you. It made me go a little too fast to start out with. So
Then it hurts on the backside.
it does hurt on the
doesn't
backside. That's exactly what happened.
Hey, congratulations to you guys. You're an inspiration. And you did beat the marathon winner single. We're going to be talking with him coming up in just a minute. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Robin, thank you so much. I was just looking up because we're talking about the relay race. Of course, the governor's relay team. This is a fun one. So every year the governor puts together his own relay team. And the goal is for everybody else is to beat their time. And if you do, you get a special shirt, a We Beat the Governor's shirt, and they will mail that to you. It seems, though, that this year the governor has kind of stacked his team. He's got a team besides himself of all females.
So first off, congrats to the governor for starting this governor's challenge back in 2019.
Yes.
It's been super popular. We had the moment he announced this, I know that News 9 had a team right away. It's been a lot of fun, and teams always want to compare themselves.
You got the T-shirt.
You get a T-shirt that says "I beat the Gov." And last year they came in 161st, so they beat a lot of people.
Teams beat him.
But he was doing that with his family. He was doing that with his family. But this year, he said, the family, too slow. Too slow.
Well,
so
he didn't actually say that, but
I'm
we're
kidding,
reading between the lines here.
But he does change up his teams. I only joke. But this year's team is 4 women on it with him, and they are fast.
Let's just tell you who's on his team because it's impressive. You have Shelley Zumwalt, the Oklahoma Secretary of Tourism. Ask somebody who knows her. I asked, is she a runner? They're like, I don't know, but she did play college soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's
She's
that.
a runner, yeah.
She's a runner. We also have Charity Robertson, OHV's first female captain, and Carl and I had a chance to talk to her on the phone the other day.
And she actually, because I saw pictures of his team, right? And so you see her, and she's like in this taekwondo gi or whatever. Yeah. She's a black belt. It's seriously. And then we're like, oh, well, I guess she's not really a runner, but she's an overall athlete. She said, no, I've run the half several times.
Yeah,
so
just for fun.
And so she's doing the 5K, and then he has an OU runner and an OSU runner.
Pretty impressive.
Like current track athletes and cross-country runners at those schools.
We're following them. We'll let you know what their time is once they cross. But right now we got to go back to the finish line where our Robin Marsh is with one of the winners. Robin?
Oh my gosh, Corey Larson, that name from Norman, you know it. Corey, you're the winner of the marathon for the men.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It was certainly something I thought of through the workup of this, but you never know what you're going to do on the day, and just really, really honored to win such an important event to the Oklahoma City community. So,
what did it mean running the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon and then winning it too? Because it is such a special race.
It is a special race. I've run the half a few times before, but I think to win this was pretty awesome. I won Route 66 in Tulsa, but I think being from here and knowing the significance of the event and the 168 people that we're running to honor, it really just makes it all that much more special.
What's it like running with those, seeing those banners coming down class in there at the end here?
I'll tell you what, I was really hurting, and I think when you see those, all the hurt kind of goes away, and you realize that you're almost there, and they really just sort of lift you up, I think.
What do you want to say to the people of Oklahoma and all the people who cheered for you all along the way, Corey?
Well, I just want to thank everybody, from the community, all the encouragement, everyone that, says a kind word along the way really just lifts you up. And my wife and daughter were out there at about a mile to go, so having them out there with all their neighbors and friends was just made it that much more special. But really, thank you to everybody in the Oklahoma City Memorial Committee and all my friends down at out of OK Runner Norman.
Oh my gosh. So 2 hours and 31 minutes, I think. Was that a pretty good time for you today?
It was, and I do want to say one thing. Governor Stitt put out a challenge, and I'm an Oklahoma International Guardsman, and I just want to tell Governor Stitt, I accepted his challenge and really appreciate him encouraging all of us Guardsmen.
Well, Corey, thank you for your service. Congratulations on winning our Memorial Marathon winner. Corey Larson, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, congratulations.
I appreciate it.
All right, if I could just on a personal note tell you my marathon winner, yep, he's already in from the half. Here's Cade, my boy, how are you? Oh, I'm doing great. How are you, honey?
You know, we gave it a great day. The weather wasn't perfect, but we gave maximum effort, and we had a blast out there, so it was awesome.
Oh my gosh, Kate, who are you running for today?
So I was running for Dana and Anthony Cooper Jr., mother 24, and then her 2-year-old son who passed away in the bombing. So that's who I'm running for, the Cooper family.
I love that, Kate, that you've run for them both times. You didn't train as much this year as you did last year.
You know what? Last year there was a little bit more pressure, but now this year I was coming in a little bit more relaxed and feeling a lot looser. So we had a good time.
Well, listen, I know you're headed back to Dallas where you work. I love you.
Hey, love you.
Oh, congratulations. Oh, thank you. A little mom moment there. Okay. I probably won't see you later.
Hey, I love you.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, though. Oh, my gosh. I tell you, I was tracking him along the way, and I don't know, something when you're a mom, you just want your kids to do so well. And so I kept tracking him, and I knew, and he texted me with 1 mile out, and he said, I'm going to see you in about 10 minutes, Mom. So it's a good day for us and a great day for all the runners out here. Back to you guys.
What a good son to text his mom as he gets to the finish line. Congratulations, Kate.
We were tracking him as well. I had him on a tracker too, so we are cheering him on as well. It was mentioned, want to say real quick, our female lead marathon runner, she is within a mile of winning this thing. So we're going to track her as she comes in. The one thing that the male marathon winner mentioned was the 168 banners that line the way as you run in, and what a moving moment. One of the creators of the marathon said that, a lot of races you go to and it's great. This race, though, it is not unusual to see tears in people's eyes for many reasons as they finish, but those banners get so many people. It's a reminder. It grounds us. It reminds us why we are here, truly why we are here, to remember and to run in honor and to celebrate the lives of all of those people.
And I think just making the change and allowing all the groups, all the participants, all the races to finish down Oklahoma City Boulevard and to see those banners. When I was running with my son too, we come back and it's coming. It's like, hey, this is what it's about. Like everything you got.
That's true. So they put the kids, they funneled them through that same way. The 5K runners yesterday, the senior marathoners. So that is one of the changes this year at the marathon.
And plus, I think overall, just if I just could talk about yesterday's 5K, it gives it a bigger feel event to finishing here. Before, and it was great last year when we ran it was outside the convention center, the finish line,
Right.
a lot narrower, a little more intimate. It was fun, but I think finishing out here, it really is a powerful moment to run down there, and it feels like a big-time 5K run. It doesn't feel like kind of like added on to a marathon. It feels like an event unto itself. So
how was it yesterday for you too?
It was great. It was I didn't put much thought into we're just gonna go out and have a good run, and so. No, it was good, and your son Gage ran it. It was fun,
5K.
And it was fun to see you at the end. Amanda took some amazing pictures.
I was cheering everybody on.
Yeah,
it's so much fun to be able to take it in as a spectator too. Well, we're going to take a really quick short break, and when we come back, we're going to have a winner in the female marathon.
And welcome back to our coverage of the 2024 Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, and we are about to have a winner on the women's side.
We sure are. We've been following her throughout this entire race. Mark Bravo, our racing expert and analyst here with us. Give us your thoughts on how she has competed during this race today.
She's done seemingly what Kat Lyle does. She measures the race, doesn't ever get, to my knowledge, off balance. She came by midway and made her presence felt. She was never far off, but she was hanging back, whether purposely or not. And when she made her move, she stayed from there. A lot of experience under the belt and methodically pulled away, it looks like. And I think she will be coming at about 251. She's very close. We're at 49 now, and she's going to notch it again.
Does this surprise you that she's here? And see, on the men's side, we have a little bit of an older competitor. She's been around for a while. She's also, I don't want to say old,
younger 30s.
Yeah, Kat Lyle. Okay, so
and the thing about it, and you're right. Sometimes the somewhat older, and Corey being a Masters, you don't see the overall win, but you can be peaking at marathon 35, 40. Often.
We're witnessing that today.
So everyone's saying it was a hard race, it was a tough race, and I think we thought that was going to be because of the heat. Do you think it's just the wind?
South wind.
It's just south wind just really kind of slowing down the races a little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
Because temperature-wise, this would be great to run
it.
Yeah.
It is. Temperature and really humidity is not what it might have been as far as I can tell, though it's big. Because in that way, it's a paradox. The wind helps you, keeps you a little cooler when it's humid. However, if it's right in your face as it is here, and there she comes.
This would be her 5th victory. 5-time champion now, Kat Lyle. That's amazing.
Yes, indeed.
What a big congratulations to Kat Lyle, our women's marathon winner here for the 24th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. What's going through her mind right now, Mark? You've covered a lot of races. You've ran a lot of races. What's she feeling?
I think it might be in a lot of ways somewhat sweeter. When you do it, you probably wonder. I've never been a mother of 3. And when you do it after that, when you've been away from the marathon, I would say about 4 years, probably always deep confidence, but some questions as to how it will unfold. Will it be at that top tier? She pulled it off just over 6:30 per mile pace, and that is strong medicine.
How tough do you think that is to kind of get back into running at an elite level, a marathon? Okay, the marathoners when they run the half marathon, like it's a lot more forgiving, right? We heard Al Mader say that.
Those last two things, elite and marathon. Not hard to get back as a runner because it's in her blood. It's a life thing where she's playing the long game. But elite and at full marathon. Like I said, Bill Rogers says, and now we're a lot older. Bill is 76 years old. 49 years ago last week, he won his first Boston in a U.S. record time. Still doing it. He said, my marathon is the half, or maybe it's the 10K. Yeah. For her to come back at this distance, at this level, is something.
Yeah. Christy Coleman, who's going to come in second, she is about to cross the finish line right now. And big congratulations to her. She won the full last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 90 seconds behind. Big time. Yeah, they'll just balance her.
Okay.
So what were you just watching there? It's just her legs giving out from her because of the distance?
One of the marvels of the sport in these athletes. You've seen it a lot of times. To imagine that a runner can stay going forward in running motion that efficient and quickly, and then they finish, and she's not sure she could walk to you right now.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Power of the mind.
Oh, look at this.
The willpower, yeah.
So where will she go now? Just make sure she's okay?
Oh, they're going to check out. Yeah. Make sure she doesn't need a bag, IV.
Okay.
Just a simple electrolytes and such.
And an amazing competitor to see her now finish second after finishing first last year. Mother of 3, she's got 3 boys. She's chasing them around. And then
We
she's
have
just
learned, yes.
running this course for 26.2 miles and coming in second. What a feat.
Yeah, knew it before today, but she showed it again. She's got killer instinct.
Running is in her blood for sure. Her dad worked the Boston Marathon too, so she kind of grew up in a running family. Well, congratulations to her for finishing that, and of course, Kat Lyle.
Kat Lyle, yeah. Impressive
Yes.
here.
Let's go down to Robin Marsh, who is at the finish line with another winner. Robin?
We're here with the women's marathon winner, Catherine Lyle. Catherine, you and your buddies were kind of neck and neck there at the end.
Yes, I'm thankful for them and their friendships.
What does it mean to be the winner?
Well, I had prayed for this, and I'm just really grateful. So, my daughter wants me to make sure and tell everyone it's her birthday today.
Oh, okay, okay. It's our Lacey Lowry's birthday today, too, so they share a birthday together. How emotional is it? I sense you're getting emotional. Is it because it's Oklahoma City? Is it because you competed and this is such a feat? What is the emotion going through you right now?
Yeah, I have so many people in my life that I know would want to be doing this, and I'm just grateful that I can. So.
That you're healthy enough to do it?
It's a major honor, especially to do it in Oklahoma City, where the whole reason we're doing it is to remember people who cannot do it. So I'm really grateful. Yeah. Proud to be here.
Well, are you from Oklahoma?
Well, I moved here when I was in high school, so I say I am, yes.
And from the metro, or where are you from?
I grew up in Enid.
In Enid, okay.
And then ran at OU with a lot of these girls, and boys.
It was kind of neck and neck there at the end. What would you just say to all the people who lined the way? I mean, for the whole 26 miles, the support, it means a lot, doesn't it?
I noticed every time I pass a water stop or a cheering area, like my pace would get faster. And I saw someone at mile 20 who just said, like, Kat, it's time to dig now. And just all those, I mean, I saw family and friends the whole way. So it was really meaningful.
Seeing the banners of the people here on this last stretch.
Oh, yeah, so motivating just to know that we're doing this to, point to them, and I'm thankful. So.
Well, congratulations. Anything else you want to say to everyone who's watching you live right now?
I mean, I always am surprised by what God has planned for me, and this is not always what I thought would happen, but I'm really grateful that it's what did.
Well, he ordered your steps today, it looks like. Congratulations to our marathon winner. Man, what a feat. I'm so impressed. Good job. Back to you guys.
Well, while Robin was doing that interview right now, I got a text message from, I guess, one of Kat's friends from college. Right?
Oh, really? What did it say?
Well, she said, one of my best friends from college, and she said she's 39. And
oh,
so she said,
okay.
she even age 30, keeping us on. Yeah, so, but that's impressive.
I know Kat was 39.
Well, I know she's been around forever. She's won this thing now 5 times. And so if you go back and you kind of watch, like you just type in these, you Google Oklahoma City Marathon photo finish or something, that's the video that pops up.
That's the one.
It's her from 2016. I think it was 2011 maybe, or 20 something like that, where she had it's happened to her twice now, but it was no photo finish today. Obviously, she made her move, and impressive stuff there. From, again, a mother of 3 coming out here and winning now 5 times, and the runner-up twice. So she knows this race. She knows what it takes, and a true champion.
And she's seen this race grow.
Yes, she has.
Very different than the first year she won in terms of the crowd, the attendance. It's a metamorphosis, and like a reflection of our city.
It's absolutely beautiful, and what she said, and giving glory to God and her family, and happy birthday to her daughter as well. So as these finishers, the elite athletes, and everybody, they get a chance to go right into Scissortail Park. So they will end up getting their medal, getting food, and then they go into Scissortail Park. 12,000 Spark Burgers being grilled up there for them, and 12,000 beers as well for those over 21.
And just hats off to all the volunteers out here. I can't believe how much food there is along this line that gets stretched out. Yeah. The water, the chocolate milk, the chips, the burgers, the beers. There's going to be beers as well. So
the volunteers really make this happen too.
Over 3,000.
It's amazing.
Of them. They have been the backbone of this race from 2001 at the Oklahoma Standard. Everyone wants to be a part, as you alluded to, Carl, and sometimes from that it's a stepping stone to being in the race. And a lot of these volunteers are out here quite a bit longer than a lot of the runners.
Oh, for sure.
It is so much fun just watching the finish line and seeing people running for one reason or another. Don't you wish you knew everybody's backstory on why they are running today? It's beautiful to see them cross that finish line.
And I think we have a camera at the finish line getting folks as they finish. And Jen, I know you're telling me where can I send people so they can kind of see themselves finish if they can. But I know it's a big thing for people they want to see themselves crossing the finish line. It's like when you get that email that says those photos are in. You're like, oh, what am I doing? Do I look fast in these photos? That's why we have the finish line camera though, so you can kind of see how folks are coming in.
There's one of the Ainsley Angels teammates right there as they just crossed in the wheelchair, and another team holding hand in hand running across. What a beautiful day to be out here. Even though we sometimes talk about the weather this morning, whether it's perfect or not, in the end, it doesn't matter when you look at this finish line.
For sure. And you mentioned earlier the banners that keep people going consistently on this day. And we talked to folks about it, and there are going to be ups and downs. If this thing was really easy, either you didn't work as hard as you wanted to, or everyone who secretly envies you would be doing this, who is not doing this. It's not easy. It's a series of recoveries, and you have the victory, though, for a lifetime.
And I think it's constantly changing, too. They're just making tweaks here and there over the years to make this thing better. What do they have to they changed the course not that long ago, but changing the finish line, that's changed a couple times. Just here and there making tweaks just to just make the experience better for all runners involved.
I will say, too, one thing that runners will get as they cross the finish line, they've done this in years past, but they didn't do it last year, is that every runner in the half and the full marathon or the full will get one of these finisher tank tops.
It's a mark of a marquee race.
13.1.
Often you must pay for your shirts, or they're not offered at all. That they give the half and full T-shirts. It's the mark of a really high-end race.
That is so nice. I love that.
And I think that you wear that the rest of the day, pretty much, whatever it is. Yeah, you're picking up some groceries later in the day. You got that on.
Put it on.
Yeah, and then I might have a sign that says, "Ask me about the race."
There you go.
On your back.
That I participated in. Yeah, don't worry, ask me. Okay.
We want to go out now to the finish line festival party going on in Scissortail Park. Our Lacey Lowry is there. Lacey, you were at the start line this morning, and now you're at the very end. A celebration and a celebration. How's it going there?
Hey guys, we are at the finish line party. It is packed in the park. This is so cool out here. What you're seeing are people reuniting right here, coming off of the finish line. The finish line is kind of just north of Scissortail Park and to the west, and then they funnel folks right into Scissortail Park. And this is where they get to meet back up with their loved ones. They're seeing the signs for the first time. They're taking selfies. They are celebrating each other. There it is. It's just a time to come by, high five, and congratulate each other. It's so cool. As they funnel into the park, they get a burger for free, and if they want it, a beer for free as well. And then they come into the park right here. They've got music playing up on the Love's Travel stage. They've got Spark Cafe providing food. They've got funnel cakes, vendors, you name it. Anything just to party after the finish line. And I love it. I'm seeing some of these signs for the first time. Families rushing in, hugging each other, loving on each other, and then swapping stories. Hey, how did your split go back at mile 17? Hey, how'd you take that turn? Hey, which neighborhood did you like the best? It's so much fun, and the celebration is just, ongoing down here. People taking selfies, posting them with the hashtag Run to Remember, and this party is going to go on until 12 today, so swing by. It is so much fun down here at Scissortail Park at the festival after the finish line. We'll send it back to you guys.
There is so much to celebrate down there, and as runners also make their way into Scissortail Park, a special thing that they did last year is they have a personal record bell. So if you break a personal record, you can go there and you can ring the bell, which is very cool. Some symbolism with that. That bell actually came from one of the fire trucks that responded to the Murrah building bombing.
Yeah, it's a special moment for folks that are able to ring that bell, and just to have
Yeah.
it there, just
For
to,
sure.
just to show after all these years that this bell was from a truck that was there. It's I'm sure it's amazing for competitors there just to kind of see that bell, take in all there is, and kind of also enjoy themselves and all they've accomplished.
Another example of how it's always this race being added to. Kerry Watkins and her team, they never stop and at where they are. You've got to move with the sport as well as with these races. To be, after year 3, one of the 12 must-run marathons accorded in the world by Bart Yasso of Runner's World is quite an achievement. Bart's been everywhere on earth to see marathons. He gave it that mark, and Kerry and General Manager Lynn Porter of the race were at Boston at the finish line, always looking. The race has a great relationship with Boston. Everybody remember, next year is number 25, and you are going to see very special things added to this race.
And it should,
absolutely.
We should mention that this race is, it's huge here in Oklahoma. It's known throughout the state, it's known throughout the region, but really the country. The reputation is out that this is something to come to and be part of how special this event is.
Joan Benoit Samuelson yesterday in our panel, I said that you come so often, and why? Since 09, a lot of the years, she said, and it looks to be a staple. She said, Mark, the last weekend in April is marked off my calendar. And for Joan Benoit Samuelson, the grande dame of distance racing and arguably most famous road runner, handful, less than that, in the world to say that. It's
There are
left
many
a mark on
reasons
her.
that it sticks with people.
Yes, and it's
brings
not
them
all
back year
about the
after year.
miles by any means. It's about what this has become and what it is, what it represents.
We want to get out to Robin Marsh, and she is with a finisher from today. Robin, go ahead. I know that the person you're with has a special story. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
okay.
Robin's.
She's working back behind
Yeah.
us to get ready to talk to somebody else down there. We'll be checking back in with her. The thing is, though, is everybody has a story down here, and some of them thought they would never run. For instance, a deputy police chief, Jennings, he decided that he was going to run. He used to think runners were crazy, okay? He would come down here, and he would help with security, and he said that at the end of the Memorial Marathon, he was always tired when working down here as a police officer, not because the job was hard, but because he was always saying, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, because so many people running by was saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, and he's like, okay, this is a great place to be. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to run.
He's running his first marathon today.
Full marathon.
Today, yeah. So
is it Brian Jennings? I just wanted to get his first name right.
Brian Jennings, and we talked to Brian the other day, and he was saying, we asked him about his training. He said, it's going pretty well. And I said, well, what have you gotten up to mile-wise? He said he did the 20 mile. He did that twice, which Amanda and I were like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, but Brian, good for you.
Well, we'll be tracking him. We'll be tracking all the runners, and we have so much more to show you from the runners, from the course, the volunteers, and of course the finish line party. We're going to take a short break and be back with more right after this. And welcome back to the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, the 24th annual one. 22,402 runners. That's how many runners we have participating in this throughout the weekend. It's incredible. It's the most since COVID. Those numbers are starting to climb back up.
And the party down here at Scissortail Park is only getting bigger. Until noon today, we have our birthday girl. We didn't know that until not that long ago. So, Lacey Lowry, happy birthday to you. Describe the scene at Scissortail Park. I'm sure it's a lot of fun.
All right, we are at the Finish Line Festival here at Scissortail Park. You can see people streaming in behind me. They are coming after the finish line right into Scissortail Park to celebrate and reunite with folks. I want to introduce you to my friend Stella. Stella just got here. Stella, you ran the half marathon. How'd you do?
I beat my goal, so I am very happy about it.
Oh my gosh, and you had some people cheering you on, and I love, look what they said, go Pokes, not slow Pokes. I love the signs. What was it like to have so many people cheering you on?
Oh my goodness, it felt so great. I really needed it. Like at the points when there were no people, it was really hard, but then getting to see people that I knew, it really helped.
And what about now coming to the party? How does it feel?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I am so happy, so proud of myself and all of my friends. Everybody did awesome.
Stella, go party. Thanks for talking to us. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, the party here at Scissortail is going on until noon. They've got food, they've got music, they've got vendors. It's such a blast out here, and all of the story swapping and reuniting with family and friends. It's just awesome. We'll toss it back to you.
All right, Lacey Lowry, thank you. Talking with some OSU folks right there. And we can't say that OSU, by the way, has one of the greatest cross-country programs in the nation.
Yes, consistently.
Yeah, like a storied program there in Stillwater on cross-country side. But it's been so much fun to see all these finishers come in and just achieve this goal. You could just see the excitement. And like, I know that you know of someone who's finishing as a very personal
It means
attachment.
something different for everyone. It really does. Blaine Arthur, if that name sounds familiar, she is the Secretary of Agriculture for our state. Her mother, Dr. Peggy Clark, died in the bombing. And so she says she is not a runner, but she yesterday did the 5K, and today she is out here. She is about to finish her half marathon. Probably within the next couple of minutes or so, she is going to be crossing the finish line behind us. And she takes this day as a celebration. April 19th, somber remembrance of what happened, but today is a celebration of her mom. All the family members are a part of this. Some of them have relay teams. Some of them ran the 5K yesterday. They will all go after this and take their running bib, and also they're in remembrance of bib that they write on, Dr. Peggy Clark on the back. They're going to go down to the memorial, and they pin all those together and put them on her chair as just a sign of remembrance to their mother.
And I think in Blaine's case, wasn't it that she went out to go see someone just compete in the race, and she's on the sideline.
She did.
And all of a sudden, she's like, I want to be part of this.
That's exactly right.
And then that started the Peggy's Posse, named after her mom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we hear about this all the time, and I know that Nick Chafee, we've said the name Nick Chafee before. Well, he is the lead trainer. He's the medical chairman for this race. This is his first year. And Nick didn't want to do this at first, and he just thought it was going to be kind of too emotional for him. He lost his mom. He was 4 years old at the time, but then other people that have taken part said, no, I think you're gonna find something different in this. This is a celebration. You're gonna want to be part of this, and so that's why he's like, okay, well, if I can look at today and the run as something to celebrate, then I can do this job, and so. He's here as our lead trainer, and he's taking over for someone who did it for 11 years, and so they're both doing it together this year. Then Nick takes over, but that's what it really means.
It's great, all those different stories.
Yeah,
it really, really is. It's a celebration of life out here, and it means a lot to the family members who lost one of their loved ones to see somebody running in remembrance of their loved ones. At the expo, when everybody got their bibs with their numbers on it, they could also pick up a bib and they could write down somebody's name that they wanted to run in remembrance of, and there were stories of all 168 victims, so you had a chance to read a little bit about them and to do what this race is really about, and that is to remember what is going on. The race creator back in 2001 said that one of the great things about this is that it is bringing the memorial here to the race itself.
Indeed. It's another example of that. One of our invited legends, Marco Cicchetto, came here. He's from Kenya. It's his third year here. Double amputee, world record holder in the marathon. He runs on blades. And he said, I came here, I didn't really know of the bombing. I knew of, but then I read about genocides because we experienced and really more mass terrorism. And he read about Oklahoma City. And then later years, he was asked in his career to come here. He looked into Oklahoma City. He remembered that started the connection. Now he says, when I come here every single year, I wish that person who perpetrated this was here to see this. He will see good always wins.
The Oklahoma Standard, everybody coming together and to celebrate just how far we've come. That is what today is all about.
Let's get back out to Robin Marsh. She is with someone now. I believe Robin's now in Scissortail Park. Go ahead, Robin.
I tell you, there are so many great stories here with the marathon and handing out medals today. Senate Pro Tem Greg Tree. Greg, good to see you out here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for letting me talk to you. This is awesome to be able to recognize the victims, recognize the survivors, and just all these people out here celebrating victory.
Tell me about this good-looking guy you got here with you today.
This is Mason Treat, and some of you may remember that he was in an accident January 5th, hit from behind on I-40. He's a walking miracle, and he wanted to be out here handing out medals to these people who are also miracles.
Mason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It feels good to put a medal around people who are walking for the people who survived and people who died and stuff.
Yeah. Boy, you're lucky to be alive today. How grateful are you to be out here and just celebrate people accomplishing so much?
I'm really grateful just to be able to stand up and give them medals. I didn't think I was going to be able to walk.
Yeah.
And now I'm handing out medals, so it's pretty cool.
Are you doing okay in your treatment?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing a lot better.
Boy, I tell you, Greg, I mean, a lot of prayers were going up for this young man, and really, by the grace of God, he survived.
Absolutely. 3 months ago, he wasn't able to walk. Now he's lifting weights about 4 hours a day, and he's out here handing out medals. He is truly a miracle, and we thank everyone for their prayers.
Oh, man. All right. What does it mean for this marathon in Oklahoma City?
This is everything. You know, on the 29th anniversary, brings the city together. It gives us hope and pride in the worst tragedy that we lived through this together. We really built that Oklahoma Standard, and we've been volunteering out here for years. It just means so much to us. I'm not a runner, but this is the way I can help.
There you go. Man, thank you guys so much. Mason, good to see you. Glad to see that smile on your face today, and I know you guys are enjoying your, father-son moment to be out here and share this together.
Absolutely. It's a great time to be together to volunteer for the community.
All right. You're looking good. So glad we got to share part of your story today, too. You're looking at a miracle right here to see this young man standing up, giving out medals to people who are running and giving their all today, too. Amanda, back to you.
Yeah, great to see Mason there. That's awesome. I know that we've been documenting his story, and so just to see him right there,
See him out here.
That's a special moment. Robin, thank you.
And what he was doing today, handing out the medals, everybody who's passing out a medal pretty much has a story.
Yeah.
A lot of survivors, victims' families, people who are impacted, first responders, they're coming out here. So as people cross that finish line, they may or may not know, but they are getting that medal from somebody who really appreciates that person just ran.
And wants to be here, right?
Yeah.
Wants to be part of that moment because it helps them.
It's a true tradition here. Many years Barry Switzer did it, other dignitaries, and that's a coveted spot to get to hand out those medals.
Yes, absolutely. Love to see those finishers crossing the finish line. The party is going on inside Scissortail Park right now.
We have Lacey Lowry, who is once again with the runners there as the party gets bigger. Lacey.
Hey guys, we are back here at the Finish Line Festival. I want to introduce you to my friends. They're all roommates, and two of them, Hope and Riley, did the half marathon. How did it go, Hope?
It was wonderful. The environment is so awesome. Go 405. Woo!
There you go. Riley, how was it?
It was so fun. I'm so happy.
Did you see this sign? It says, "Our roommate is faster than you." Go Riley, go Hope. Did you see that sign out there?
I did. It made me so happy.
And the roommates, why did you guys want to support them?
Oh my gosh, we support these girls in any way we can, and they have been working so hard preparing for this, and we see them get up early and run, and we're just happy to be here.
How fun was it to be along the course cheering people on?
So much fun. We loved it. We had so much fun. We were at Gorilla Hill and everywhere.
And you wanted to do an OSU cheer?
Yeah! Oh yeah!
Thanks, ladies. Go have fun. The energy is just awesome down here at the party at the park. Scissortail, it's going to go on until noon today. They've got burgers, they've got beer, vendors, you name it, and so many reunions happening down here. It's really great to see. We'll toss it back to you.
Yeah, the party just getting started, and it'll build till noon today. Lacey, thank you very much. Amanda, I know that someone very special to you
So
just
excited
finished.
to see this. Blaine Arthur just crossed the finish line. Let's go down to Robin Marsh, who has her there live. Robin?
Well, I've just met up with a runner, Blaine Arthur, Secretary of Agriculture for the state, and I said, well, how far did you run, and what'd you say?
Well, just a half, just 13 miles.
Just 13 miles. That's a definite accomplishment, Blaine. Thank you for being here with us, and this day means so much to you and your family. Can you tell me why?
It certainly does. My mother, Dr. Peggy Clark, was lost in the bombing, and so we have a lot of family members that participate, but this is very special for us that everyone continues to run and remember all of those who were lost that day.
It's in some ways 29 years seems like forever ago, but in some ways it seems like a month ago, doesn't it?
You know, it certainly does. This morning we were lined up, a gal behind me came up and she said, "You don't know me, but I worked at the post office in Chickasha, which is where we lived, and I knew your mom." Well, she started crying and I started crying before we even started. So yes, it seems like a long time, but you can go back there really quick.
You and your family do something special after the race,
after
the memorial. Can you share that
Yes,
with
we
me?
all get gathered and we walk back to the chairs and we take our bibs and put all those on the chairs and our medals, and just kind of a important time for us to remember and reflect and just realize how special Oklahoma is and how special Oklahoma City is.
How special was your mom? Tell me just a little bit about her.
Oh, incredible lady. She was a veterinarian, worked for the USDA. I have two sisters. We could not have asked for a better mother. Very enthusiastic, very funny, very hardworking, and pushed us. Sometimes I think when I'm running and I get tired, I think she would say, "Keep running,
come on, girl.
Keep running, get it done." So very special lady.
Thank you for sharing more about her, and I hope you and your family have that special time together today. And just thank you for sharing your talents with the state through the Ag Department, and just this day of how special it is for you and your family.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate News 9 being out here and helping everyone remember, so thank you very much.
We're thinking about you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
That is what it's all about, remembering what happened and celebrating life.
Let's. We're about to wrap our coverage here pretty soon, but we do want to get kind of just final thoughts on today and how the race played out, and just kind of what it meant to see all this unfold. Mark, go ahead. What'd you think?
Very special weekend.
Oh, we got to hear you, Mark.
Oh, okay, if you say so. Jack Sidness and Morgan McNutt, congrats on the 5K victories. In the half, repeat performer Al Mader and Allie Andrews a winner. In the full, Corey Lyle and Kat Lyle, but it's so much more than about that.
It is.
This race embodies the best in humanity, from what was the worst in humanity like no other race on earth. I contest that this day is different than any road racing day on earth. It's a destination road racing site in America. From the mild means that started this race, it was more of an honoring. It's now at a spot I don't think anyone would have thought it would reach. It's thanks to everybody, to great partners like News 9, to sponsors, to the 3,000 plus volunteers, to all the fans, the race team, and to these athletes who are the main show on this weekend. I'm proud to be a little part of it.
Oh, we definitely are too. And all the law enforcement, the layers of security, some we see, some we don't see, all of them out here keeping this race going. We appreciate them for sure.
The 3,000 volunteers, just the magic of this race and what they've created from 2001. This is the 14th annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. The first one had 5,000 people.
It has grown so much.
This is 22,402 participants, and it really is just remarkable to see it all unfold. And it's just a special moment for Oklahoma City, for this state, and really it's making headlines across the country, which
you bet
it
is.
Which it
you
should.
bet it is.
And we hope that maybe this encourages you to get out and run next year to remember, or just get out here along the race course and cheer on the runners, because it is an absolutely amazing thing to see and to witness out here. On behalf of all of us here at News 9, we want to leave you with a look from the day. Thanks.
It is a must-run race.
Welcome to the 24th Annual Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon Run to Remember.
Here we go!
It is electrifying here.
And we run to remember.
You just don't get that feeling a lot, so I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can.
Represent for people who can't do it, I think it's so special.
Coming down the last stretch with all those pictures.
And they really just sort of lift you up, I think.
Is a celebration of life and how far Oklahoma City has come.